and gentlemen, welcome to the Flagrant 2 podcast. No easy buckets, analysis by assholes, water cooler commentary for your sports needs. Did I get it right?
Yeah,
all right, goddamn it.
that.
It's your boy Kaz right here. Akaash Singh to my left.
Yep.
And the man with the #1 comedy album in the goddamn world. Andrew Schulz. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, guys.
How you feeling, dog?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. That was Akash's
Got Kevin Hart
idea.
the fuck out of here.
Yo,
Like that.
box him out the paint. Bye. Jumanji'd his ass.
Fuck
Let's
out
go.
of here, John Mulaney and all these other motherfuckers.
Yo, John Mulaney got mad albums.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I was looking at that list. This guy got like mad. I don't know a single Mulaney joke. He got like 15 fucking albums.
Motherfuckers and bees. But nah, man, we wanted to do the intro a little different today because, we've been all, the asshole army and brilliant idiots and everybody have been supporting the 551 album. And we know that a lot of motherfuckers wasn't really trying to give you the, give you the deal that you deserve. So you said, fuck it, I'll do it myself. And now you are rewarded with the #1 album,
bro,
in comedy in the
It's
country.
one of, I mean, I'm closer to you, so I'm obviously biased, but it's one of the more impressive things I've seen in this business.
Yeah,
the
man.
idea was brilliant. The
Thank
work
you.
ethic you have, it's Kobe-like.
Yeah, man.
Anybody who knows this dude, I live with this dude, and I remember seeing how I thought I worked hard, and then I saw how hard he worked, and I was like, I got to kick this shit
Gotta
into
step it
high
up.
gear.
Gotta step it up, man. It's really
Thank you, guys.
really inspiring to see, and not to get all gay, whatever, but like it's really dope to see everything.
Man, we
that
can
you
get a
guys-
little gay. The guy got the #1 album comedy out in the fucking world. Somebody want to hate on us? You go get the #1 anything in the
Exactly.
fucking world.
Exactly.
And see how you feel. You fucking dork-ass loser.
Fucking dorks. To hear that shit, man. But other than that, it is also really fucking funny, and it's really dope to, see you accomplish one of these goals. I know
Thank
that was
you,
a
man.
big goal that you had for yourself, so we just want to congratulate you
Thank
on
you,
that.
man. Yeah, it was cool, man. I had a feeling we could do it.
Mhm.
I going into it, I was like, yo, I really think we could do it.
I actually texted you. There was no question in my mind it was going to happen, but
Yeah.
it's still really cool to see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
It was just, I don't know. I felt like obviously all the assholes were supporting. That was so cool to see. I was getting all these screenshots and keep watching it, by the way, or keep listening to it. Keep streaming it.
Just
Keep
keep
it
it on loop.
#1.
Just keep it on
Keep
loop.
it on loop.
Just
Go
have
to
that
sleep.
shit-
Put
have
that
shit
shit.
played in the
Turn the volume
background.
down. Keep it going. I want that shit on #1 forever, man. Let's win a Grammy.
Yes,
Schulz
sir.
high.
You know what
Get
I mean?
out here.
Yeah, that's
sir.
right.
Schulz
That's right.
high.
Hezzy gang.
Yes, gang.
So, but yeah, no, that would be so dope. Now, I don't think we could win a Grammy because the material's too salacious. I don't know if you could win
Fuck a
Grammys.
Grammy, dog.
But no, I don't give a fuck about Grammys. I mean, I'm going
Yeah.
on record saying that it's more about the fuck you that a
Mhm.
Grammy is,
Mhm.
or even like being nominated for a Grammy. It's more just like, wow, this was rejected uniformly by everybody, and then all of a sudden it goes #1 in the world, and then Grammy nomination. I think we could get it. Why
Man,
not?
it's real hip hop, man. Like, not for nothing. Like, the Grammys are always late to that type of party anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't think comedy's any different.
Sure,
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's dope to, it's better. Like you always say it all the time. It's better to be a man of the people than to be a man of the industry. And obviously, people have
Facts.
come and support you and give the money directly to you, cut the middleman out.
And I
support
saw
your
the
shit up.
industry not fuck with this. Andrew put a lot of money into putting his own special together, which I
Yeah.
thought was dope.
Yeah.
And I saw he was telling me, I was like, there's no way somebody isn't going to buy this. And I was like, Netflix should. I don't know if they will because they chase their heat, whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody. And that
Sure.
shocked me. And you had the money and you put it forward like you made it work. You
I
made
was
it work
so
for you.
cocky when I made that fucking that special, bro. I
Yeah.
remember I was talking to guys I made it with. Shout out to Manhattan Productions, my boys Brendan and Bradley. They did it with me and Greg and my brother Greg.
Mhm.
And I remember I was saying shit like, look, we should pitch it to like Showtime, but obviously we're not gonna do it there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, like we're just gonna go HBO or Netflix. Like
Yeah.
it was already sold in my head, and when we kept on getting no
Mhm.
after no after no, and I was like, this is what creates an ISIS. Do. You know what I mean? Like it's just constant rejection over and over again. And finally, the one person who's like, "Hey, you want to join us?" You're like, "All right, what do I gotta do? Blow myself up? What? Nah, fam, can't do it." So. It was one of those things, but man, I'll be honest with you. I was in Kansas
Yeah.
when this shit happened, and I saw it go. I saw it hit #1 on iTunes, and then people were sending me different links. It went #1 on Amazon, and I think Google Play hit #1, and it's just like all these different things. And then Apple Music hit #1 because
Mhm.
iTunes, Apple Music didn't. And it was this weird. It was a very similar feeling to when I was on Molly.
Yeah.
And
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, so it's weird.
That
It's
makes
like
perfect sense to me.
I'll be honest. Like,
As
so
a guy who hasn't done either.
yeah, yo, I'm telling you, you're gonna get both. But
I've never done Molly, so I don't
all right.
know what
So
it's
Molly is like the feeling of Molly. It's like powdered love. Like literally, it's incredible. And I've said this on other podcasts, but like it made me lose all respect for animals because like the fact that humans were able to find the feeling of love and then find a way to powder it and like insert it inside you, right? So like, so what happens on Molly when I was really mollied up one time at Burning Man is like, maybe as a comic or just as a regular person, right? There's like a void we're trying to fill, at least for me, right? So I'm trying to fill it through laughter or through like interesting thoughts, but I'm trying to fill all day, right? I'm going to take from somebody, fill, right? And everybody does. Some people do it through fucking, you know, posting pictures of their titties and ass on Instagram. Like it's constantly, how do I fill what's going on, right?
Uh-huh.
You take Molly, and then that gets filled up.
It's just there.
And then it's overflowing.
Right.
And you get this moment where all you want to do is give.
Yeah.
Right? It's almost like religious. Have you ever hung out with like a really good pastor or like a really good imam or something
Grew
like
up in the
that?
South, man. Yes,
Okay, and they want nothing, right? It's just give. And it's like a really comforting experience being around them, right? So I was calling up my parents. I'm high as fuck on the desert in Burning Man, calling up my mom, just telling them they did a great job raising me, calling my boys and shit like that. This shit was just wild, right? And so I had this feeling, again, not that extreme, but I had this feeling where it was like, oh, finally I feel the void. It was like validation. It's like 11 years of just grinding and stand up, having cool success outside, but never really, you know, getting that. And then all of a sudden, it's like the void that was filled, maybe from these, you know, industry or fuck whatever, who cares about them?
Yeah.
But like not being, you know, supporting or whatever it was. Like it was like, oh, I've been validated. It's like you can't take that away from me.
Yeah.
In my life, I've had a #1 comedy album in the world, and then that's it.
That's it.
You can't take that away. And it was just the coolest feeling. And I started. Yeah, I was just overwhelmed with gratitude.
That's good, man.
Yeah, it was really. So thank you everybody who listened, man. It means the world to everybody who listened and shared and keeps posting and keep on listening, man. It's fucking so cool, man. Thank you guys for posting.
Of course, dude. Absolutely, man. Let's get into some fucking sports before we get fucking killed again on Twitter. Like, you guys will talk about your goddamn sports.
Again,
a lot of good sports.
Jeez,
shit
we got a lot of good sports.
No, hold on. Again, do the #1 anything in the world, and see if you don't feel like talking about it.
Yo, that's the real thing about it is like having the #1 is something is very cool, man. Like,
fuck yeah.
I fuck with, it's just great.
Oh, the week this podcast was #1. I was on.
You
I was on
take that
cloud
away.
9. I was like, holy fuck, we have the #1 sports podcast.
You can't
on
take
Earth.
that away from us.
Oh,
Like
man.
we've had the #1 sports podcast.
Yeah.
You know, on iTunes.
I had the fucking heckler video go viral for like a day and a half.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. There was nothing else I was thinking about that entire day. Nothing else.
It's validating, man.
Listen, we all feel that need to be validated in some way, shape, or form. Some people get it from other folks. Some people get it from their parents. Some people get it from accomplishments. So I mean, like whoever feels like they're too cool to feel like, oh man, you know, I don't need nothing. I got myself. Like everybody needs some sort of validation in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
So wherever way you get it, whatever you need to do to get it, like when you get it, man, it just feels amazing, and it's really cool to see, you know, everybody come through and support you for that.
Absolutely,
really
man. And there was something that people have been messaging me. They're like, yeah, you know, fuck the industry, this, that, the other. Like you did it yourself. And like, here's the thing, I don't have any ill will towards the industry.
Yeah.
The price just went up.
The price went up, dude.
I mean, that's it.
The
like,
price went up,
yeah,
man.
let's go. I don't.
Jay-Z had to put out Reasonable Doubt himself.
There
before
it is.
Def Jam was like, all right,
let's
take the money.
But that's just that's all it is. And I said that even from the beginning. It's just like, yeah, it's cool, man. Like we showed them.
It's always better to do it this way.
We showed
It's
them.
always better this way.
That's
like,
why when we talk about like the assholes, the asshole army, we talk about like the brilliant idiots, and we talk about the following. It's something people sleep on, maybe because they're not familiar with like the severity of it. It happened with me on the road. You know, like Akaash, I think you got a taste of it when we were in Texas. We were like, oh shit, like people fucking come out, they support, right? So it's like, and in New York, obviously,
yeah. Podcast. I guess
we know about it,
but
like
they
don't know
they
just yet.
That's the thing, man. Like, and you know, obviously, you know, being behind the scenes and being able to try to like sell this product to a lot of people. A lot of people just really don't know how to quantify that podcast audience yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of times, you know, because sometimes the iTunes numbers are kind of funny, and but like you can't deny SoundCloud numbers, you can't deny certain numbers. but you can't deny people as well.
Boom.
So it's like once you go out, like it wasn't until, goddamn, when I was in LA, I was doing uninterrupted shit in the Score,
Mhm.
and I was like I was in sweats just walking to LA Fitness, going to get my workout on. Some dude comes up to me, spoke no fucking English,
That's so
and was
crazy.
like, "Guys, you do the Flagrant 2 assholes, right?" The dude spoke like barely any English and wanted to take a picture. I was like, holy shit, people really fuck with it. Like podcast audiences are so different because it's so intimate.
That's right.
And it's like, a lot of the times, like it's not, podcast isn't really group listening. It's a lot of people listen to it when they're by themselves or they're working or they're cleaning the house. So it's like an intimate conversation. So
someone said it to me because I always talk about the
like that
ticket.
shirt.
Same, appreciate you.
Yeah.
Same general thing. I like the way these guys think. I like their sense of humor, but also that is as close to someone's brain as you can get.
Yeah.
You are talking nonstop in earbuds that are right next to you can't get closer.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah,
more
man.
intimate.
Yeah, no, it's incredibly intimate, and a lot of times we're touching people at the worst part of their day.
yeah,
Yeah, true.
That's very true.
Very
It's
true.
very
And that's
true.
something a lot of people don't realize. Like when you watch a TV show or some shit at home, you're good.
Yeah.
You're really just being lazy.
You're just
Yeah.
hanging out, right? It's
You're
like,
really, you should be doing something else.
yeah. But it's just like I'm gonna avoid that, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna have this distraction, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like it's distraction from really not that bad a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
You're just
Yeah,
hanging out,
just
right?
hanging out.
All right, I'll watch and eat or something like that.
Yeah.
But right now, there's somebody listening to this podcast sitting in traffic
Word.
in LA or in a factory in fucking Ohio.
On
Yeah, it's a good
construction.
point.
or some
It is
shit,
the
like, it
worst.
sucks.
Fuck. And on some level, and when I meet these folks after shows, it's always cool to hear the stories about it. But on some level, it's like, dude, they're grateful because for an hour and a half, that shittiness
Yeah.
wasn't as shitty.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the appreciation, I think, is a different level. It's
Yeah.
like
It's
if
like
you
by the
made
time
me,
that 2 hours is done, it's like, oh shit. Like, I was you just go into autopilot
Boom.
because you're listening
I
to
got
the
something
show
to
and
focus
yada
on,
yada.
laugh.
Like, and I remember when we put out, I think we haven't done it a lot, but there was like one time we put like an hour-long episode.
they were like, chill,
And
chill,
people were like,
chill,
yo, don't
chill.
ever do that.
No.
So we were like,
That
yeah,
was when
no.
Alex misrecorded the first 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Legitimately the greatest,
The
30
greatest
minutes
thing
we've
he ever
ever
did.
had. Ever had.
That's like the lost episode that we'll never fucking find either. But oh
Thank
man,
God.
it was great. It was great. But let's get into it, man.
all
This
right.
is a
Now
real
sports.
real
Okay.
quick, real
Okay.
quick. This
Okay.
had nothing to do with 551. This is totally separate.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we had a new sponsor approach us.
Oh yes, I
Oh,
forgot.
yeah,
Let's talk
new
okay.
about it.
sponsors
I was
approach
wondering
us,
if we were
Ching,
gonna talk
ching,
about
right?
this.
So, one of the
excited.
sponsors, and I'm not gonna say the name just yet
Mhm.
because they're not paying for us this episode. But one of the sponsors is basically is for boners, right?
Yes.
It's for guys that might have erectile dysfunction,
Boner pills,
Right?
man.
or guys that might just want to lay the ham on it, right? So, I thought about this, and I texted you guys. Like,
Yeah.
what do you guys think about this?
Yeah.
Just having like an erectile dysfunction pills to sponsor.
Mm.
And Kaz's immediate reaction was, "Yo, can we get some pills?"
Hey, don't
now
quote
let me
it like that.
no. That's literally
Listen,
what he said.
I'm only 31. All right, it still works. I'm just saying.
I know it still works, right? I know it's
Real quick, there was
shouts to the banana on the table, right? Like, I got a full ass banana, hormone induced banana. This shit is on the pills right here. So he said that, right? Akaash, I think you were down. I'm not exactly what you
Yeah,
said. It was
yeah.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
But not insinuating that you got any problems, but you sparked this interesting idea,
Yeah.
which was, first of all, if you listen to podcasts, you're a dude, you got erectile dysfunction.
A lot
right?
of dudes listen to this podcast.
For a lot of dudes listen, but some might have some erectile dysfunction. You
Mm.
don't got to go through life with that shit.
No, you
Like
don't.
as a man to man, you do not got to go through life with that shit. You should never have to do that, and you should always have your boner because as a man, that's like if you're a knight, you got to have your sword. That you got to be able to take care of business,
And to be
right?
honest, Andrew's on Propecia, so his boner game might not be crazy.
Yeah, it's half. It's half. That ain't shit. My boners ain't shit. I don't got a second boner. I got
and,
first
and
one.
listen, my dick
Yeah.
is hard all the time, but the dick game itself is the worst in the world.
Trash dick game. Nobody more prouder than his trash dick game than Akaash. Love talking about it. Love talking about that shit.
It's so funny to talk about.
Yo, I know.
It's so
but he
funny.
loved talking
Every
about
dude,
that.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
every dude's talking about how good they are at sex.
Yeah.
What is the other guy? It's like, yo, I am proudly terrible.
You
at
gotta
this shit.
undersell, man. Undersell and over deliver
Undersell,
all the
overdeliver,
time,
that's
bro.
Well,
All
anyway,
the
my
time.
point is, if you got some shit, listen, you don't have to fuck with that. If you're not already on it, get the fuck on it. That being said, Kaz brings up this great idea.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, can we try it? And then we started talking. We're like, yo, we should all try it.
Mm-hmm.
Lay the pipe, and then come back and talk
and
about
talk
it.
about it.
Exactly.
I'm down, bro.
So
let's do like a Yelp review.
Exactly. So if anybody got that shit, we're gonna test the product and then come back with it next week. So we're gonna have some stories, right? And if you sometimes just want to lay it because it's different. If you got a girl you want to impress,
sometimes
all you gotta do is lock a girl down with one night of good dick. Ladies know this; they'll chase good dick. Ladies will chase it.
It's like the road to El
Will
Dorado, man.
Yes!
Like, they will chase
that.
They will chase that magical night for the rest of their relationship. Like, oh,
Interesting.
yeah,
It's like I know you don't know about this shit. It's like
You've been in a relationship
heroin.
as long as I've known you.
You know when they say heroin addicts, they're chasing the first
high.
Chasing the dragon.
That's it. You're chasing the dragon.
Pay for that dragon.
Exactly. So you got to give them
You
the
could
fucking
lease the
dragon,
dragon.
yo. There it
Man,
is.
so that's what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna take these boner pills.
Boom. Give some bitches the
We're gonna give
Khaleesi.
somebody, give them the long strong, and we will come and give. Well, I mean,
The long strong.
The check's already cut, so we're gonna come and give the uncut raw review
Facts.
of these pills.
Facts.
And you know,
Yo,
dude,
we
This is
should-
the only live spot you're not gonna want to fast forward.
Yo, real talk. We should get the girls to give the review too.
That's what I was
Yo.
thinking. We could crowdsource this. If you got a crazy
Anonymous,
story,
we
lady
could have them be
asshole.
I will
anonymous.
get an anonymous written
Yeah.
report. Like,
Yo.
yo, listen. So we did this show, and I'm gonna tell you. You know, I was performance enhanced tonight. And if you don't mind leaving a review, like, you know, when you ride an airplane, and be like, oh, you know, if you did a great job, let us know.
Customer satisfaction
That's
survey.
it.
Satisfaction
Fill it out,
guaranteed,
yo.
dog. Like,
Done.
it's all you
Lady
need.
assholes, get it for your man.
Yeah, them lady assholes gonna be loose next week. Let me tell you that much. All right, we coming through.
Oh man,
So,
our female audience
we
gonna
gonna do it
skyrocket after
next
this
week.
shit.
We gonna do it. We gonna talk about it, and then if y'all want to fucking do it, real deadass, if y'all want to just do it and give us the reviews too, this could be fun, man.
This is gonna be great. This is
This
gonna
could
be
be
great.
really
We read the
fun.
funniest
Let's-
one every week, maybe.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
keep this going.
We are destigmatizing boner pills, dog.
I'm
Like, fuck it.
not gonna have no asshole that listens to this show walk around without the ability to have a hard dick. You got to be able to fill some pussy up, man. Real talk. That's fucked up.
You
if
got to be
can't.
loosening some assholes out
Bro,
here.
Real
you gotta
talk.
hit the stomach, man. Hit the stomach. Just
Yeah.
break down the walls, bro.
Break them down.
Break down the walls.
All right, let's get into some sports.
Yeah, so we got an NBA champion, ho hum.
Oh,
Shout out to the
fuck.
Warriors.
Thank God you had the #1 comedy album in the week.
you.
So there's
It really made it
something
so much
happy
easier.
happened.
Yeah.
Something else to discuss. Man, it was one of those things where, and I'm glad I wasn't alone in thinking this. It didn't even feel like the biggest game of the year on Friday. It felt like a regular ass NBA game on a Friday night on ESPN.
This just felt like a March game.
It felt like a March game
Yep.
after the All-Star break where people are just going through the motions. And holy hell, did the Warriors ruin playoff basketball? Because this was a great season. It was a great
I'm going to say something. I said they were going to have trouble this year. I didn't pick against them necessarily, but
Yeah.
I did think they were going to have trouble this year. I'm going to tell you this.
Mhm.
I'll say this right now. They're not winning next year.
I don't know,
I don't
man.
know what stops them.
I don't
But this
know.
reminded me a lot of, and this is, a lot of y'all are probably too young to remember this. I'm old as fuck.
Mhm.
Kings Lakers 2002.
Okay, I remember.
Kings in the conference finals, just like the Rockets, went up 3-2 on the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Lost in 7. Also shaky officiating, even though theirs was worse.
Oh yeah,
But
no, this was absolutely
Lakers really had to
Donaghy-
grind. Then the
Yeah.
Lakers swept the finals. We all knew what was going to happen in the finals. They swept the Nets. Warriors swept the Cavs.
Mhm.
And then the next year, the Spurs won.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the Spurs are this year.
Maybe
It
it's
might be the Spurs.
Maybe it's the Spurs, man.
Or the Rockets.
And also, wherever LeBron goes is going to shift everything again.
Yeah. I think LeBron. I think this is what makes this whole thing interesting. The offseason there is like this is the first time where even Cleveland is like, okay,
Yo, fuck
we get
Klay
it.
Thompson. Yo.
Like Cleveland's like, we get it, dude. Like LeBron, for the sake, it's almost like Cleveland fans, and I'll give Cleveland fans their props for this because they have been like surprisingly cool about knowing that LeBron's out of here.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Like for the sake of the league,
Yep.
LeBron's got to go somewhere to give the Warriors some fucking competition, man.
Yeah.
Like he's got to go somewhere where we know it's not a foregone conclusion that these guys are going to win another championship. It's almost like kind of like how the Heat were.
Yep.
When the Heat were the team, and we all knew it was a foregone conclusion that they were going to beat, they were going to win the title. And for the sake of playoff basketball, for the finals, and just for intrigue alone, I don't care where LeBron goes,
Okay.
as long as it's somewhere that I know is going to give him the best shot against these Warriors. Because for one,
Which is that? Where is that?
I think there's
we'll get
Sorry,
we'll get
I'm
to
eating a
that. We'll
banana.
get to that later. But for one, the reason why I'm kind of sick of watching the Warriors win is because they suck at winning. Like,
Ooh,
they
talk
suck
to me.
at winning, dog. Like when I grew up, I used to love watching final celebrations, dog. Like
Yeah.
I remember like vividly Michael Jordan
Crying.
jumping, crying, doing the fist pump,
Yep.
jumping on the scorers table,
Yep.
popping champagne, smoking cigars, spraying people down,
Yep.
fucking even like
Lakers
years
ruined
ago,
that. Kobe ruined that.
Kobe
There
kind
was
of
one where
that.
Kobe won and he didn't even smile afterwards.
Yeah, he was like, "Fuck it, what's next?"
Yeah.
Like an assassin, which I
Real
guess is
talk.
cool, and if you find a way to
Yeah.
to like that. And even the competitive balance was a little different back then because it was still a pretty stacked team. You
There
had
was
your
still-
Sacramento Kings,
Yeah,
you
but
had
there
your
were
Spurs.
still great celebrations at KG winning his
KG
first
was
ring,
great.
LeBron winning in
LeBron-
Cleveland.
That was
Here's the
phenomenal.
difference: you can't really celebrate something you didn't
Yeah.
earn.
Yeah.
Did you notice
a very
that-
underrated celebration?
real quick, did you notice, and this is how you know the celebrations are so shitty, the camera only focused on Swaggy P.
Yeah,
It only
Because they-
focused on not Andre Iguodala. It only focused on like Jordan
Jave-
Bell,
yeah,
JaVale McGee. It was focusing on the guys who were truly excited. Three of them were like, "Yeah, we got this. We did this."
Yeah, it's like we did what we were supposed to do, and and they know they have more to come. You know what I'm saying? The thing that made it dope, like even a very underrated celebration when the Mavericks won. I think that was the last outside of Cleveland.
Yeah.
That was the last great fucking championship celebration. Mark Cuban was taking selfies in the motherfucking in a
toilet stall.
toilet
pissing with the
stall,
fucking Larry O'Brien
pissing with the
trophy.
trophy on his
Have
shoulder.
you seen that?
No,
it's
they
not a
went-
selfie. It's a picture of him from the back.
Yes,
He's pissing at a urinal. One hand on his dick, I assume. The other hand holding the Larry O'Brien trophy.
dog. They
That's
went
hot.
to live. And when
That
Liv was
night,
fucking
in
Liv,
Miami.
in Miami, they went to Live on Sunday and burn that shit to the ground. Like I remember I remember when social media was really starting to pop off, and
Yeah.
Mark Cuban had this legendary tab that he posted, and everybody had a fucking Magnum bottle, an Ace of Spades, and all this other shit. I'm like, that's how you celebrate a fucking championship,
Yeah.
dog. Like watching the Warriors win. I said it on Twitter. I'm like,
Deshaun
watching-
Stevenson went to the parade. He wore
Yeah.
a shirt that said,
Yeah.
LeBron, how's my dirt taste?
Yeah, exactly. dog. Man.
I missed the shot.
I missed
I
that
miss
shit,
him.
dog.
He didn't play again after that year.
Yeah, that
he
was
was
it.
my favorite Maverick on that team, which makes no sense.
What do you mean? He didn't play again after that year?
No,
I don't
and
think
growing
so.
up watching the Mavs, they're always so soft, and they finally had a thug motherfucker
Yeah,
who would
I
just
remember.
bust threes and talk shit and play D,
Rock.
and it was so dope.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
lockdown,
dope, man.
lockdown.
It was dope.
Really
and
fun, great face tattoos.
I said this
Great.
on Twitter, man. Like the Warriors celebrate championships like they won a spelling bee. It's like great, yeah. Where are we gonna go? We're gonna go to Chick-fil-A and have some sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. The
It's
parents
like-
were more excited than the players were. Steph's
Yeah.
mom was getting all legacy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I'm
Fuck
like,
outta
come
here.
Legacy,
on,
what'd she
dog.
say about that?
I think she said Steph said this. 3 is a legacy. 3 is a dynasty.
It's a
This
dynasty.
is a dynasty.
It's a
now.
dynasty. I'm
Yeah.
not afraid
Yeah.
to admit it.
So
but
they understood that it
Yeah,
meant
but
that.
nobody likes dynasties.
Have you seen this still shot though of KD getting the Finals MVP and then Steph behind him looking?
it's like word.
It might have been an inopportune photo. That happens, but
Yeah.
Steph looks salty
I'm
about
sorry.
Oh.
I thought Steph Curry deserved the.
it.
Finals
Nobody
MVP.
deserved. LeBron deserved it.
Okay,
I
real
don't
quick.
know.
You no,
And we'll get into LeBron later
did not
with the
deserve
hand,
it because he
yeah.
lost,
Yeah.
and you can't be Finals MVP.
You're right.
if you
LeBron
lost.
didn't deserve it, but none
But
of them
as
did.
far as like KD or Steph getting it,
Mhm.
Steph played like he wanted it
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Game 4.
definitely.
Like he put up buckets.
Oh no,
he's pulling,
game 1, 2, and 4, he was the best player on
but
the
specifically 4, he was uber aggressive. I
Mhm.
felt with his
floor.
shot.
Mhm.
I
It
couldn't
was
watch for it.
numerous amounts of Steph Curry fuck
Yeah,
you threes,
A lot of fuck
which
you
is
threes.
my favorite play in sports. To say it all the time.
I think, and he was literally like, "Okay, KD got one. This is the one thing
This is
I
the one I'm
don't
gonna
have.
get, Yeah.
I'm gonna take this." And then they gave it to KD. Fine. One thing I will notice though, I won't. I already noticed. Not I
Mhm.
will in the future, but I already noticed. Is did you see who came out of the plane holding the trophy first?
Steph. Yeah.
And that is strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is Kerr going,
Mhm.
"Hey, I have to balance the egos here.
To have to.
If KD walks out of this fucking plane 1st,
Mhm.
holding that goddamn trophy,
Yeah.
Steph is gonna be pissed.
Yeah. Nah.
It's
KD
got to be Steph's team.
and here's the thing.
Yeah.
KD even knows it's Steph's team.
And he's okay with
And
it.
he's all right with
KD
that.
snapped at a reporter. A reporter was like, "What do you feel? How do you feel about
Mhm.
you won the MVP, but Steph had a really big game, whatever. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. We won. Da, da, da. Like he shut
Yeah.
it down real quick.
Yeah.
KD knows what time it is.
He knows what time it is, man,
Yeah.
and he knows that, and that's why I thought Steph Curry deserved MVP because statistic wise, KD probably spread it out more. Had blocks, had steals, had efficient shooting, all this type of stuff. But Steph Curry is the key to that team.
Yes.
He is the engine that makes that thing go and makes that offense the scariest offense you've ever seen.
Until the finals.
And this is the first finals, outside of Game 3, this is the first finals that Steph Curry had a Steph Curry-like run. You know what I mean? And it was I don't know, man.
What?
I don't want to feel like we're underrating Steph. But it's like sometimes you just got to watch the game. Sometimes you can't just go by numbers.
I do underrate Steph.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to bring everybody back a bit. And let's think about this guy. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's the greatest shooter we've ever seen. Offensive
Two-time
savant.
league MVP.
He is also a guy who went 2 for 13 in a pivotal Game 3. The end of Game 1, I didn't see him. It was KD hitting the free throws, KD driving. I don't remember big Steph Curry threes. Those are the 2 most important games.
Right.
Game 2 and Game 4 were blowouts. Steph did what we know Steph does, and he went crazy with a lead.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, if you're amazing, they switch on him every play. The strategy to beat Golden State is to switch
And make
onto
play
Steph
defense.
Curry and make him play defense.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. It just is.
It is.
He's a fucking all-timer. But that's a big deal.
It is a big deal,
Yeah.
and that was the only shot the Cavs had, and that's why LeBron went off for 50 that first game, because it was just switch on Steph and just go to work
And cook, yeah.
And I understand that, but at the same time, I think Steph's offense outweighs his, the defensive liability he is.
Of
You know
course,
what I'm
of
saying?
course. Yeah.
And when he has
Supermax player, no question.
when he has it going, man, like they play so downhill when you have to stop the ball 45 feet from the rim because you don't know if he's going to fucking pull up. And when he's hitting that, running full speed at you, stop on a dime, pull up from 40, and it's a good shot and it's money, just go home, shut it down, get the women and children. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying?
And
like,
I
KD
agree he is more important to that team, but I think KD is more important in the finals.
I
To
guess,
beat Cleveland, to beat LeBron.
He's the difference.
I think Finals MVP is dumb.
Why do you
Gives
say
a
that?
fuck.
All this shit matters.
I mean, you know
No,
what?
but like-
and you know why it's fucking dumb?
Who's the MVP of your team that wins the final?
You know why it's dumb?
absurd. Yeah.
Because people like us have to figure out something to be interested in because the Warriors have taken all the fucking drama.
Yeah, we need to have something to argue
We need
about.
something
You need
to argue
give
about.
something
So
debatable.
we'll
At
I'm
the
just
same
saying
time-
when it comes to finals, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to the finals, you've worked so hard and you put your entire life into winning this trophy. Why give... I think we should get rid of it. Why give...
So you don't believe in Super Bowl MVP, Finals MVP,
Get it
nothing.
right. Get rid of it, because what it does is it it creates a non-team moment out of a purely
Interesting.
team a team victory, right? Like, this team went through this whole process. This team got there. You fought through injuries, did all this shit. Okay, this guy played really well in 4 or 5 games at the end of the year.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Real quick. So it's like, I think it sucks.
Yeah.
I think it sucks. Why even give a team? If I'm a team, I say right before the finals, I say we don't want a finals MVP. We're going to reject it. Everybody plays a role in this team. We came this far. Let's win this as a team. Look, if you win the MVP for the league, that's fine. But a championship, if you win that, we win it as a team.
Yeah.
And why would you do anything to cause division? There's a little division. Steph is a little pissed
I
off.
don't think he's pissed off, but he has a little chip on the shoulder. Like, you know what?
not
Next year,
pissed
I'm
Steph is
getting
so
this shit.
fucking like meditative and calm in terms of the way he deals with the press, the way he deals with media, and his own ego. It looks like he has the ability to really check his own ego.
Yeah.
This
A
will not
lesser
divide the
dude-
team.
Exactly.
But
It's not
it
gonna
is
divide the-
annoying.
But
to
why
them.
even have
Yeah.
that little?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even put any. Don't leave any room.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you exactly why the Finals MVP is important, and they got to keep it there. The NBA itself was built on stars.
Yeah.
The boom of the
Great
NBA,
Fucking
the boom
great
of the
point.
NBA started. I
Yeah.
mean, like, obviously the NBA was pretty successful, but it didn't become a powerhouse until it was Magic. And
Sure.
Bird and
Yeah.
Jordan and all these other
But
guys.
they didn't.
So
sorry,
after certain championships, everybody knew Larry's the man.
yeah.
After the Lakers won, everybody know Magic's the man. After the Pistons won, everybody know Isaiah's the man.
Yeah.
After the Bulls won, everybody knows Jordan's the man. You know what I'm saying? Now, in the era of super teams and super egos and being able to hold all that stuff together, now it's like, okay, well, why are we even caring about who deserves it over KD or Steph? Why are we even caring over who deserves it over LeBron or Wade? Or who deserves it over, all these other people. When the Mavericks won, everybody knows Dirk's the man. Dirk got it. You know what I'm saying? But these super teams have built this unnecessary, and it's not division enough to break a team up. But say it happened to the old school Thunder.
Oh, you like it because it makes a wedge.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh.
But say this happened.
You wanted to divide
this didn't even happen for the Finals MVP. But look what it did to the Thunder. When KD won the league MVP, and there were people saying like, well, Russell Westbrook is probably the more important player on this team,
right?
Even though KD had the better statistical season. Yeah. Look what it did to that team. Look how it broke that up. If you ask anybody who's close to KD felt a way that even though he was the more efficient player, the most valuable player, yada, 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 Westbrook is the one getting all the endorsements. He's the one with the Mountain Dew commercials. He's the one with he was the heart and soul of that team. He was
Maybe
the one that
KD can learn to put a fucking outfit together. Maybe that would help. You fucking idiot. You come to these
match your fucking patterns, though.
You dress like a goddamn third grader, man.
I don't know. I don't see his outfit.
Have you seen these fucking goofy ass dances he does before games with his pants? They don't even come down to the fucking bottom of his calves. I get that's supposed to be fashion, but you look like a fucking idiot doing it. Russ pulled it off. Russ got us all dressing differently. He's the Kanye of this shit. He might not be the best, but the motherfucker's the guy you got your eyes on.
He's an enigma, man. True. He's a guy where even when
you might not like him.
You might not like him, but you might love him.
He's the Kanye of this.
He's somebody, and that's why I love Russell. Russell is a guy who nobody feels indifferent about. You either love the dude or you can't stand the dude. Yeah. There's a lot of people that just felt indifferent about KD. Like, yeah, he's good. Like a lot of people like saw him win, like even this year and last year, and it was just like we don't feel nothing for him. We're just like, okay, like he won 2 titles, okay. Yeah. Whatever. Like LeBron had already won 2 titles, but when he won that one in Cleveland, you felt for him. Like you saw the emotion. You
I remember exactly where I was.
Yeah, me too.
I remember exactly where I was when he won it, and it was fucking incredible.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I was in Aruba and I was watching it with 2 people that were from Ohio. Yeah. And they were going, and just a bunch of like Europeans who obviously like the way the Warriors play because they shoot threes. They don't really understand the game. Yeah. And these guys fucking went crazy. Yeah. Dude, it was incredible. But, okay, so that being said, I understand it. You want it because it creates stars. I just don't think a finals MVP creates a star. I think an MVP creates a star. But finals MVP, I couldn't tell you who won them. I literally couldn't tell you.
Where it does become important for us as fans. Yeah. When we start dividing on the all-time greats list, that does come into play. Kobe only having 2 does come into play when Jordan had 6.
But to me, it doesn't. Like, to me, I don't know who has them and who doesn't. I think it's an arbitrary award. I think it's nonsense.
Fair enough. For a lot of people, you start having to, when you're arguing with somebody, you start having to split these hairs.
And that's the thing, that's fine. That's fine. But I'm just saying, like, for me, if I ran a team, I wouldn't want anybody to get it. If I'm running a team, the best possible scenario is nobody on my team wins shit except we win the finals.
See, in a perfect world, that feels great.
Yeah, in a perfect world, there's no All-NBA, there's no nothing.
I'm fine with that All-NBA shit. I'm fine with all that stuff. I'm just saying, I don't want. There are going to be 2 guys on my All-Star on my finals winning team that are going to be debatable in who should win it. This is going to be every single year, right? You could even look at Kyrie and Bron. Yeah. Right? You'd be like, woo. I don't know. Kyrie had some big fucking games.
You can, but it's not. You're not.
You got to understand the only reason why we discuss this and this is even an issue.
Yeah, I hate KD's sneakers. Can we just discuss that for a second? His stupid fucking sneakers. They don't even come up past the heel. Yeah. Have you seen the sneakers?
They stay sliding off his foot.
I like the on
part
pearls.
of it?
The on pearls is nice, but
I'm not even talking about the way they look. I'm talking about how small and how low to the ground they are.
Well, he's a long foot dude, and Nike kind of like did away with like high tops a while ago.
Well, I know. I went through that.
They made Kobe have his low tops. I think LeBron's like the only.
I think Kobe preferred. Kobe
he started that whole shit, and it was because he watches soccer, and he's like, "Why don't soccer guys turn their ankles?" It's probably because low tops. No, because they play on grass. You fucking idiot. There's a little bit of give when you make a sudden motion. You're not going to turn your fucking ankle. You're also probably not landing on feet as much, whatever.
But back to the topic about,
just real quick with the fucking sneaker.
Just 1 second. One second. Go. The finals MVP shit makes me so upset because the Warriors have created this division within the league where you need something to argue about. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like if the league was competitive, if the finals were competitive, if it was a 7-game series that went down to the last second, that finals MVP means something because that person was the difference between winning and losing. if they would have lost Game 5, if they would have lost Game 4, and they went to Game 5, and KD didn't have a great game, and Steph had a great game, he probably gets the finals.
That's an interesting.
If
point.
it was something where
I get what you're saying.
If the competitive balance was more even, that finals MVP means a lot
in the
more.
Super Bowl, since it's one game, the guy who plays the best that game, it's like, wow, this guy's clutch.
Exactly.
So it shows you who the clutch guy is, or who guy steps up to the occasion. I think that's fair. Okay, Andre Iguodala has cartoon legs. Have you seen what his legs look like?
No.
You've never seen his legs?
No.
I've
never taken note of his legs.
Why are you looking at the man's legs?
Yeah.
Well, because he had a knee injury. What am I going to look at his fucking elbow? No, I'm looking at his leg to see what happened. And his legs are so fucking cartoonish. He has the specifically X-Men kind of cartoon. Do you know, they're quite beautiful. His physique.
The calves are very curvy.
Yeah, the shape and everything like that. It looks
now
like
that you mention it, I'm like, damn, he does have some really
he has
curvy
Wolverine's like boots that kind of come up high. Nobody ever mentioned that. I'm so glad that Wolverine didn't wear those fucking thigh-high boots in any of the movies, but he's dressing super trans in the cartoon, right? Like when you think about it, right?
Listen, I never
he has
noticed,
nails.
If you watch like the old school X-Men cartoons, like they're all drawn very curved. They're almost like if you look at a medical book and like they take away all the skin and it's just like veins and all that type of shit. Like that's how they drew all the X-Men, and that's how Andre Iguodala's legs are.
We should talk about these Marvel guys that are making these characters because they pay a lot of attention to dudes' physiques. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the chicks. You're mainly drawing dudes.
I mean, not for nothing. Like Rogue was
the chicks are always bad.
The chicks are bad, but there's like 1 for every 10. Like imagine you spent your whole life just drawing abs.
Rogue wasn't bad
and like
to you?
crotch shots.
I thought Rogue was hot.
Rogue was bad.
Rogue was hot.
No, I didn't say
Rogue
and
Storm.
I was disappointed in the movie with who they chose for Rogue.
Who was Rogue in the movie?
Rogue was Anna Paquin.
The tall Scandinavian bitch.
White chick?
No, it's the Scandinavian bitch, right? No, that's Rogue is Anna Paquin.
It was Anna Paquin.
Who's the Scandinavian chick who plays the Phoenix?
Fuck. Gosh, she was in Hunger Games, wasn't she?
She's in a bunch of shit.
Yeah, no. But she's
hot.
hot.
Game of Thrones.
She's like really beautiful. But Famke
Famke Jensen. That was the
beautiful,
first Jean Grey.
Beautiful woman. Mm-hmm. She's like 6 feet tall. Son, she's 6 feet. I've seen her on the street.
Really?
I saw her face. I was like, oh my god, this girl's stunning.
Strikingly beautiful.
Strikingly
beautiful. And then you
realize
realize you were looking eye to eye with her.
Son, eye to eye. Her foot was. Because I go face to foot, right? I skip everything in between. It's face to foot. Her foot.
Toes look like fingers.
No toe. I couldn't see toes. She was wearing boots. Size 14. I would say size 14 foot. I would say size 14 foot. And
she got to balance on that height, man.
Fam.
She got to balance that height. If she had like regular size 5 foot, she was 6 feet tall, she'd be tipping over every time.
Real talk. Like literally, I was shocked, man. I mean, massive foot. Massive foot.
Oh, Jesus.
It's rough for girls. Yeah. Oof, wow.
But shout out to Famke Jensen, dog.
Beautiful woman.
Yeah,
stunning. Could you do that? Could you do size 15 shoe?
Size 15 on a woman?
Yeah. I couldn't do it.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really into feet like that.
No?
Nah. I mean, like, I'll notice if you have some nice feet.
Yeah.
But, like, something I gotta,
I'll notice if you got some nice feet.
Oh, yeah. I love feet. That's my shit.
I could notice some nice
second
feet.
Second
like,
toe
I ain't
longer
doing
is like,
nothing.
it's almost insurmountable at this point.
Yeah, it's the foot version of an underbite.
Really? It has to be descending order, right? I remember we talked about this.
On,
right?
Yeah. Like, listen, I can do the first two are even. Now, if your second toe is a little bit longer, I'll just put you in a heel. Because what happens is, this is how much I know about this shit. When you're in a heel, right, and the foot is pushed up, the first toe comes back slightly, but the second toe comes back much more. So it evens out. If you see a girl in a heel and the second toe is even to the big toe, that's a second toe longer bitch hiding. That's a second toe longer bitch hiding. So look what.
All right.
That's what you have to go.
Life hacks with Andrew Schulz.
Oh, I know all about it.
Hacks.
Anything you want to know about
Foot
the
hack.
feet, that's easy. That's light.
Let's do a 30-minute episode on feet.
Just
one time.
feet.
It's a bonus episode.
Anything.
It's baseball season is coming.
When we talk about
I'm
baseball,
about to say NBA's over.
absolutely.
Like we're gonna people that don't like us talking about sports. Trust me.
The
it's
foot
gonna-
episode.
I can tell if a girl got flat feet from looking at her from the back.
That's because you got flat feet. So you recognized game.
Yeah.
All right, we got another thing we got to talk about,
All right,
man.
go.
That isn't really getting talked about enough.
Which is?
Because if it was anybody else, we'd be smoking this dude to death. LeBron James.
Yep.
What about it?
After game 1.
Yep. Yep.
Pulled into the Mari. Punched the whiteboard.
Right.
Allegedly said he was playing with a broken hand.
This is wild.
Flagrant 2 fans.
Okay.
We have dedicated full episodes to the greatness of LeBron James.
Yeah.
And
LeBronos, King of the North.
LeBronos, King of the North, the GOAT, all this type of stuff. But at the same time, we wouldn't be the assholes that we are if we didn't keep it all the way funky about even our favorites.
Yeah.
LeBron kind of went out like a bitch, dog.
I hated that.
He went out like a whole bitch, dog. Like, you didn't wear a cast this entire fucking series.
You had that shit. You brought that shit to the game for when you lost.
The entire series, dog. The first thing we hear about you, before the champagne is even popped, is, I played the last 3 games with basically a broken hand, and yada, yada, yada. And, I punched the whiteboard.
And this is where he annoys people.
And that's the thing. I'm like, dog, why give people... maybe I'm nitpicking because the guy does so much, and he rarely makes a misstep as far as, personal character, as a player, all this other shit. This is when people get pissed off at Bron stands. Because it's like, why even fucking mention it at this point?
This is when people hate Bron. And it's not... He's a weird dude with this kind of like when he said about Draymond, and it was a good move because it got him suspended in the finals, but he was like, I'll continue to take the high road as I've always done. It's like, right there, you're not taking the high road.
You're not taking the high road, exactly.
You're not taking the high road. And you're really putting yourself on... So who the fuck? That's just such a...
It's like we get... Bro, we already know you are shouldering a historically large load to get to the finals.
And for a dude who's so brilliant, all you had to do is let somebody leak that story after Game 3 or before Game 3 when you're pretty sure you're going to... Whatever you're going to lose, have someone else leak the story.
Mm-hmm. My whole thing was, why wear the fucking cast? It's so dramatic. It's such...
After the game, dog?
I'm like, come on, son. We know you were doing a lot. We know this is JR. That should be the JR hand. JR should donate his hand to him for that shit. We all understand that. But it's don't give people... This was the first series and finals where people legitimately felt for Bron. We're like, dude, we get it. You're doing a lot. If you got to go somewhere, go. Even Cleveland fans were like, yo, we get it, dude. You know what I'm saying? And now you're putting yourself in this position where it's you need more sympathy, my guy. We know if it's broke, you fucked your hand up, let the story leak, whatever. Yeah, no excuses. You know what I mean? We try our best, yada, yada, yada. And take the high road, quote unquote, like you say you always do. Yeah. The fact that he came out with the cast ready, and the shit happened after Game 1. He's all, I was wearing a soft cast during the week, but I didn't wear it in front of the media, and yada, yada, yada. It's bro, we didn't see you fucking throw an off the glass in the middle of a game and dunk it with that same hand. We didn't see you do a lot of shit with that hand. If it's broke, it's broke.
And you put it on the table. If you want to hide it,
it's
just put it. Even if it was just low the whole time.
Ron, it was a weirdly. I'm not gonna say low class. That's too far.
Not weirdly, because he does this from time to time.
It was a weirdly, just overly dramatic, sappy. I need more sympathy for when I finally leave and go join another team from you guys. Not only did I sort this low, but I did it with one hand and yada yada yada. It's bro, we get it, dude. We get it. And then now I mean to play fucking psychoanalyst and none of that type of shit.
Well, real quick.
But this is the type of thing that you open up and you see, okay, now I know why Kyrie wanted out.
Well, no.
Now I know why certain people are okay. There's pressure
let's just back up. Let's back up. I think it's important to acknowledge how heroic it is to play with a broken hand.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely heroic. Absolutely heroic. You know what I mean?
Hero. Hero.
When you look back at the games, he didn't attempt a single three.
Did he really break his hand?
He said he played with what was essentially a broken hand. But he heavily contused.
He attempted threes after Game 1.
They said
I watched him hit threes after Game 1.
Somebody could.
He alley-ooped the fucking. He alley-ooped himself and just hammered it down.
Yeah,
I can't imagine that's easy on your hand.
No, definitely not.
Yeah,
I heard. There was some stat. Somebody could correct me on this one if I'm wrong. He took 7 threes in Game 1 and took a combined 6 threes the next 3 games.
Let's get somebody to look. I wish we had
something like that.
I feel like that's off because I saw him.
He didn't shoot many for sure.
A lot.
He definitely didn't shoot many. I do remember him vividly backing down a lot more, doing a lot more post-ups, doing a lot more shit. He wasn't really
you know what else?
hitting them fadeaways.
Is a valid excuse. If his hand does not hurt, it's a valid excuse. He was exhausted.
Yeah. Dude.
In Game 3, I remember I looked at you because we watched the end of that game together, all 3 of us, and you and I had talked about the Rockets shooting so many threes because they were tired. In Game 3, I think Cleveland is down 2 or down 3 or 4. LeBron pulls up from like 30 feet back to try to answer a Steph 3, I think.
Yeah.
And it was just such a bad shot.
Yeah.
Beginning of the possession, just pulls up as he's bringing it up, misses horribly. He was exhausted.
Yeah.
He was exhausted.
Yeah.
That's a valid excuse.
Yeah.
To have a cast ready for when you get swept. Put it on, walk outside, and then you address the media and say, yeah, I broke my hand.
So
It's like,
why can't he wear a cast?
I mean, he could wear a cast, but it's like, dog, you've already went this far.
This is why he don't get calls.
Why?
Because of
we
y'all.
We think of him like
Say-
he's
Because y'all
Incredible
think
Hulk.
he's a fucking superhero, and
Dog.
if Steph Curry rolls his pinky toe, he's in a fucking knee-high air cast for 3 months, and all of us go, "Oh, he's got to heal
Not
himself.
us.
He's
But
gotta
we
heal
didn't
himself."
we didn't give him
Not
that same
us.
energy though.
Hold on. What
We
do you
didn't give
mean,
him that
not
same
you?
energy.
we don't say, oh, we are the guys who are like, oh, Steph played badly, all of a sudden he's hurt.
Yeah.
We kept that same energy with
Yeah.
Steph.
No. I'm talking about literally what happens. He turned his ankle,
he's
and then he
fragile.
was out,
Yeah,
or
he's fragile too.
he turned his knee, and he's out. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
fragile guy.
okay.
Okay.
And we allow him to be like that.
Right.
We allow him to sit out. Right? I'm not talking
Yeah, but
about.
we're burying the lead here.
No, but I'm not talking about when we're making excuses for his play, because LeBron played phenomenally throughout the game, these 4 games, right? I'm just talking about if he literally. This is why he gets no fucking calls, is because he's looked at like a superhero. This guy got a broken hand. Right?
That
We're
he
not
did
even.
himself.
We're like, why the fuck you wearing a cast?
Yeah,
pussy.
you did do
What
it
the
Did
fuck
it
is
to
wrong?
himself
You did do it
though.
yourself.
Fucking matters if you do it to
He
yourself
did
or
it to
not.
himself. It matters a lot.
Why?
I remember that playoff
It
run when
hurts
Amari
less if you do
Stoudemire
it to yourself.
When Amari Stoudemire punched the
It
fucking
hurts less
friend.
if you do it to
No,
yourself.
it doesn't hurt less, but it's like, yo,
It's
this
not
motherfucker
as
like
excusable if you
it's
do
not
it
excusable,
after
dog.
a game because you're upset.
So,
It's not
all right, so
excusable.
I gotta walk
It's
around.
like, I'm supposed to feel sorry for you because you know,
I gotta
understand
walk
it was a
around and
frustrating
potentially
thing.
injure my hand even more after I already lost.
Then wear
for
the
y'all.
cast the whole time.
Why?
Why? Why not? Why not protect your hand? You
Why-
don't
why?
mind people
Because
knowing?
he understands. Because he was doing something to protect his narrative. His whole thing was he knows
That's
he's out
what
of
we're
here.
saying.
He knows he's out of here this year. He's doing everything he can to protect the narrative so people don't look at him like a fucking bad guy again when he leaves again. And when Amari did that shit to himself, the news broke out immediately. Everybody knew he punched the fire hydrant. He's wearing his cast, yada, yada, yada. LeBron is doing everything he possibly can to make sure he doesn't fuck up his brand by looking like a fucking hothead. Because Enes Kanter did the same thing. Fucking Amari Stoudemire did the same thing. I forgot another player did the same thing that we killed them for. Like, oh my God, that's immature. How would you do that? How can you let your team down like that? Dog, they lost by what? They went into overtime in Oracle with a healthy Bron with 2 hands. How different is this series if he has those healthy 2 hands? Granted, George Hill misses the free throw. JR goes full JR. We understand
Game
that.
3, they could have won easily.
Game 3, they could have won.
This was the
If
closest
he had 2
sweep.
hands. If he had 2 working
No,
hands.
but they were right there with Game 3.
If he had 2 working hands, I think they would have.
Okay, fine. Look,
I
and
honestly-
we can make excuses for it, and that's fine.
I'm not making
It is-
excuses
No,
for
no. I'm not saying this. All I'm saying is, we either believe he has a broken hand or we don't.
I'm not positive I
If
believe
he
it.
does have a broken hand, then put the fucking cast on. That's what humans do. We live in the first world.
And I'm cool
We're not
with
in
that.
fucking Syria where you're wrapping it up with toilet paper and just hoping things work out.
And I'm cool
We're in
with that.
America. You have a broken hand, you put on a cast. Now, if you don't wear a cast during the series, and I completely understand that, you don't want to let the other team know that you have an injury on that hand. You don't want them to plan differently against you. You don't want them to let you shoot because, there's this hand injury. Now we're going to go under every screen. Now we're going to force you to shoot. We're going to do all this stuff. You want them to respect the 3 like they were respecting it the whole series, right? Why give them anything? It's like in the NFL, they don't release the injury reports until they
No.
fucking have to.
You know
right?
what's crazy? You know what's funny?
What?
I'm glad you said that. This is gonna make this is gonna make the NBA have to change that rule.
Ooh.
Especially how they're gonna legalize gambling and they're gonna do all that type of stuff.
Shit.
I guarantee you.
If I'm putting a house on someone, I need to know if you're
I
injured.
guarantee you they're gonna start having probable, doubtful, questionables, the same type of NFL injury reports from now on. There's no way. There's no way they're gonna lose all that money or have all that money on the line next year when LeBron's playing with 1 fucking hand and nobody knows about LeBron. Like, they're going to make sure of that shit. They're going to make that shit fucking mandatory. just
That's a
like in the
great
NFL.
fucking point.
Tell
Last
me.
thing I'm going to say, I'm not letting him skate on this. As
You
much as
shouldn't.
I love him,
What do you mean?
it is really fucking convenient that right after you get swept, you got a cast ready. Not a soft cast, not an air cast.
Yeah.
What looks
A
like
full fucking cast.
No, it's
I
just
broke
a-
my hand, I
just
can't
wrapped.
use
It
it.
was
And then
wrapping.
you put the shit right on the table when you sit down so everybody can see it. All of a
LeBron
sudden,
does nothing.
Everybody
Where
should
else
know.
do you put your
I
hands?
think it's a real
That's
way.
why he gets no calls, because you look
You
at
keep saying
what are you
it. No.
fucking talking about? Where do you put your hand during a press conference?
Just don't
you
wear it
ever
for 10
once
more
seen
minutes.
LeBron put his hand under the table for a press conference?
Yes.
When?
Yes.
When?
Wear it for
Name
10 more
Name
minutes.
it.
Everybody.
He
couldn't
ain't
let
never
it-
fucking
Yeah,
once
I've
seen
seen
it.
it.
let
This
10
is
minutes
what
rock.
LeBron, he
Look,
leans
lean
back,
back-
he
leans
puts
back in the
both
chair.
hands on the mic,
Uh-huh.
and he does that. That's what he does. Or he's holding a drink on one, never once, and you know for a fact.
He could have let
if you've
10
seen
minutes
his
rock
hand-
and be like, all right,
So
I'm
there's
gonna
the
go
other
take a
argument,
clip.
right?
That's what I'm
So
saying.
the other argument is, should he be let 10 minutes rock? The smart way to go about it, if I'm his PR manager, I say, hey, go out there, don't do anything with the hand. Tomorrow, you're going to be in a full cast,
Yeah.
and we're going to leak a photo, and people start asking it, and then you go out there and be like, listen, I don't make excuses.
And that's
My
what
hand
I'm
was hurt.
saying.
That's what he
Sure.
should have did.
That
to
being
me.
said, but that's the PR move, right? But the health move, son, if I break my hand, cast it up.
Yeah.
Cast it up.
Yeah.
Like, I cast it up fucking immediately. I've already played 4 games. I gave everything. My team's a bunch of fucking bums that can't show up. And now I can't even wear a fucking cast. Like, put the fucking cast on.
I don't know, man. I just think it was a super.
It
LeBron
is-
does nothing by accident. Everything
Yes.
is super calculated. He has the
And
most
it's not
calculated
always
squad
well
of all time.
calculated.
Yeah.
It's not always, especially with his image and his shit like that. It's not always well calculated. Like that comment.
not
of,
well
I'm gonna take-
calculated in the sense that, like, you know,
One fuck up.
It
it
doesn't always
doesn't-
come across. Oh, the other fuck up with I didn't mind it, but listen, I get to wake up tomorrow and be LeBron James. You guys are gonna go back to your
Oh,
lives.
the greatest press conference of all time.
Amazing to
Are you
us.
kidding me?
Amazing to us. Not a well calculated PR move. He had
That's
to
what I'm
apologize
saying.
for.
Yeah, like
Why? What's wrong with that?
He
That's
shouldn't have
true.
to apologize, but he did because people didn't like it.
It's not well calculated in the sense that, like, it protects him, but the fucking the you know.
He's not going to
The
sell
ripple
burgers.
effect.
He's
The
not going to
ripple
sell
effect to
burgers
other
with it. He's not
people
going to sell
and
sneakers
at
with it,
times,
whatever.
Yeah, like it's
And
it's
LeBron
weird.
is a guy who cares about that. Whether we want to admit it or not. And listen, you're talking to dudes who love LeBron.
Yeah, bro. Like,
I'm
I
willing
got
to say this dude is the greatest ever, which I didn't ever think I would say.
Yeah.
But that is just, come on, dog.
It was
We
like-
gotta keep that
Everybody
same
in
energy.
every what energy?
The energy
Nah,
of
what energy? Because everybody in every press conference after they get injured, they got their shit wrapped up. They got their knees wrapped up. They got their shoulder wrapped up. They're coming. Every pitcher after a baseball game is coming to the fucking press conference with ice on his shoulder.
Yeah,
LeBron got a
because that
legit
is
broken
something-
hand.
Because that is something that happens within the heat of the game. If he's sitting there with a fucking broken shoulder because he threw his shoulder into a fucking wall because he's pissed off.
Oh, so if you do it yourself, you're not allowed to.
No, my thing
No.
is like, yo, let that 10 minutes rock, get your press conference out, and then put on
also,
the
if
fucking
Steph
cast.
Curry came to a press conference with his shoulder heavily iced,
Yeah.
and I saw it, and they had just lost, and he's like, yeah, you know, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Just
Yeah.
wait 10 minutes.
And we've-
Do
and
your
we've
fucking
done the
press
same
conference.
shit.
You're not going to break your hand more in the 10 minutes you're at the podium.
If you have
Do
a
it
broken,
later.
if you had a broken shoulder, not like a sore one, but just a broken shoulder, and he came with ice on his shoulder, I'd be totally fine with
But
that.
we did the same shit with Steph, the series that they did lose against the Cavs. And it was like, oh my God, you know, he's hurt and yada, yada,
And,
yada.
and Kaz
Oh.
talked about it one time, and I regretted. You know, afterward you think, I wish I had said that.
Yeah.
Kaz was mentioning how good the Warriors were, and he said like Steph Curry was hurt too, and I wanted to be like, no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
I wish I had thought in the moment, no, he wasn't. He just played bad.
He wasn't any more hurt than anybody else.
He wasn't hurt when he hit those threes against, I think, Houston or the Clippers or whatever, and he says, I'm here, I'm back, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
You can't do that shit. And then, like, a couple series later, oh,
Sure.
well, you know, he was.
End of the
he was
season.
hurt. I'm just giving him the same energy that I'm giving LeBron.
No,
That's
but
all
this
I'm
is
saying.
different. Steph didn't
And that
have a
was in the heat of the game.
bone in his body.
That was in the
That
heat
is
of the game.
different than just being a little beaten down from a tough season.
Yeah.
LeBron doesn't have a cast because he went through a tough season and his hand hurts.
Medically
He has
speaking-
a cast
medically speaking.
because let me just finish. He has a cast because he has a broken hand. If that is what it is. If he's faking it, fuck everything.
Okay, real quick. Medically speaking, what we heard is contusion. That's like a break, whatever, or a really bad contusion. If it's a contusion, the best remedy is ice.
Yeah.
If he comes with ice on his hand, that's actually a better treatment. And I'll be like, all right, fair enough. This guy hurt his hand.
Yeah.
Coming with a cast seemed OD. And I also
I'll be
personally,
honest, coming
I
with
texted you all
ice is
this.
some pussy ass shit. That's some soft pussy ass shit. You come on ice on your hand?
I would.
Oh, did someone
that's
slap
a better
your hand
Why
on a
can't
foul?
you treat your hand?
Fuck
Why
that.
can't you treat your
It's
hand?
just
And I
pussy.
think- and I think
Ice
that's
on
what-
your
treat your
fucking
hand.
hand.
And I think
a
that's what he's
cast is
saying.
legitimate. A cast
No,
is. I don't want to
ice
move
is
my
treat-
hand
That's-
because if I move my hand, I could affect the breaking going on there. I have to limit motion. Ice
reduces swelling, which is what a bruise causes.
And that's
Swelling
what
is
it looked
for
like. I saw the
fucking
selling in
gays.
the hand.
Give a fuck
And that's what
about
he's trying to
swelling.
say, man. Like, I'm not saying it was broke or not, but the dude did kind of sell it. He did
didn't
sell a little
kinda. He
hard,
sold
man.
it.
Like he sold a
He
little
did.
hard. It's like, dog, we understand you had a heavy load. We don't have to drag any more sympathy points out of us, bro. We get it. You did a lot for this team.
The expectation is so high for this guy. He can't even have a broken hand. It's really sad.
Hey, listen, man.
And that's why every time he goes to the basket, they don't call shit. And every time Steph pump fakes someone and then fucking lunges into their body,
yeah.
it's first of all, they got to get rid of that rule immediately.
that rule sucks.
I
That rule is
hate
so
that
bad
rule.
because
And
when,
it's the James
when you
Harden
go
rule.
back, when you go to the basket,
Yeah.
right? When
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go to the basket and you initiate contact, it's a no call.
Yeah.
When you pump a 3-pointer and you initiate contact, it's a call. How is that possible?
But you know what it is? This year, they did a better job of
With
like,
the swipe
not calling that.
Yeah. Well,
But in the
it's a
finals, for some
non-shooting.
reason, it was either non-shooting or they called on the
Yeah.
ground, whatever. But like in the finals, Steph got away with that shit a lot. Like even in Game 4, he tried to do it and he pumped into it and they didn't call it and he still hit the shot.
Yeah.
Most other times they call that free free
I think
throws, all
if
this other
you
shit. Yada,
move
yada.
in any direction towards the player jumping at you,
Mhm.
shouldn't be a foul.
It's like we watch you shoot a million jump shots, right? The one jump shot when you go like this.
Yeah.
it's
You
very
have
like-
the
like,
best,
oh, that was a
cleanest,
natural.
most consistent form of any player in the history of the basketball, and you are pumping and then kicking your leg out to the
Yeah.
left. It's
It's
bullshit,
like, come on, bro.
and
We get
it sucks to watch,
We
dude.
get it.
Nobody wants to watch
We
free
get it.
throws.
And this is what I'm saying about
Get rid of free
So
throws.
for what I've said about LeBron, the stuff that we will say,
Mhm.
I tweeted this. I've never seen a great player get less calls than LeBron.
He's got the
Except
Shaq
maybe
rule.
Shaq.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Shaq also, you would see Shaq just fucking. I mean, he's just a big dude. He's
Mhm.
getting.
LeBron is finesse going to the basket, getting hit, and not getting called.
Mhm.
off
And
of
there's
finesse.
times where he'll charge hard and whatever, but nah, he gets hit constantly, and there's never calls.
He gets hit. This is what I don't understand. He gets hit by help D. Okay, if Shaq is in a post banging,
Yeah,
it's
He's
but there's
banging.
exactly. There's a little give and take, right? He's banging. If help D comes over and fouls Shaq,
Mhm.
send him to the line.
right.
Mhm.
And that's what's happened with LeBron. If you want to just go LeBron and whoever's defending him, let the contact be there. I'm okay with that. Let's play the game.
Mhm.
When you have the center come over, help,
Yeah.
foul him,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
nothing.
Right.
God, let's be honest here.
It's a bit much. It's a bit much. I get it. I mean, I get it, man.
I don't think they
I
win
get
the
it.
series either way. I think Golden State's got too much,
It's too much.
Yeah.
but it would have been nice
Oh,
to see.
Can we acknowledge that tweet that I just sent you guys, or that response I just sent
Yes,
you?
yes, we need to say that.
Okay.
Yeah, I pulled that up earlier on my phone. I accidentally texted you.
Which
So
tweet?
what did KD say exactly? So
Oh, right.
This is
okay,
a
yeah.
Kevin Durant quote.
Mhm.
this is bad PR right here.
Yes, and it's a shot, and I hope this motivates our boy.
Yeah.
I feel like it's easy to be the best player when you don't have good players around you.
Oof.
I feel like it's harder to stand out when you have great players around you. I pride myself on standing out wherever I am.
Let me tell you something about Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant is probably the most, outside of Michael Jordan, probably the most gifted scorer of the basketball I've ever seen.
Facts.
Right?
Yeah.
He is so painfully unaware. His self-awareness, like if this is NBA 2K, and there was like a meter for self-awareness, this shit is a 2, dog. Like
you only got so
how-
many points to go around.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
self-awareness.
You got to distribute the points. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
his inside scoring, outside scoring, 3.999999. Self-awareness is like a negative fucking 2 for Kevin Durant. Like I've never seen somebody who was just. And at first, I thought it was just okay. Like now, he's just kind of getting more comfortable. Like after he won the MVP, you kind of saw him being a little bit more
Yeah.
snipey with the media and being a little bit more, you know, just short tempered or whatever. I'm
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
he's probably just getting more comfortable. And like the whole KD is not nice campaign from Nike. Like I thought that was just him being him, right? Now I just think he just doesn't have a real clue. Like he's just painfully self aware. Like not self aware. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dog, you went to a team that already had 73 wins, right?
Yeah.
Who you were up on 3-1.
Who
I
you
always
were-
want us to remember this.
you
We
were
always
up on.
blame Russ for blowing that lead.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant had a terrible game for what,
Mr.
5-6.
Unreliable.
If he had
Mr.
good
Unreliable,
games, if
front
Mr.
page of the
Unreliable
Oklahoma
had good
Paper.
games, they win that series. He's in the finals.
Sure,
sure,
He
sure.
skates on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
And,
No,
that's true.
and the thing
That's
with
true.
KD, man, it's like, you know, from the burner accounts to, you know, saying people don't understand the game and calling people blog boys and yada, yada, yada. It's like, dog, just shut the fuck up sometimes, bro. Like, just, bro, like, there is such thing. It's like, okay, the difference between KD and Kobe, right?
Uh-huh.
When Kobe would say these sort of things, right?
Yeah.
It was always in proper context.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he would say sort of snide little remarks about, you know, either the media or how people don't really know what they're talking about, yada, yada, yada. But one thing I always give Kobe is that he always gives proper context to almost every basketball situation.
Okay.
Katie just says certain things that you look at him and like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about, dog? Like, what are you talking about? It's like, dog, you know what it's like? It's like when someone's so good at something, they don't possibly understand how people aren't as good at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, when people used to say, you know, Michael Jordan was so frustrated being a GM and a president because he was trying to impart all this knowledge to these people.
Yeah.
And it's like when you're so great at something, it's hard to teach it. It's like, what? Just do it how I do it. Like,
yeah,
what do you mean?
The best coaches are never big men.
No, exactly.
Right? They're like Ty Lue.
Exactly.
It's like, how does Kai Lue, how does Steve...
The
Steve
rare,
Kerr,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the guys that should never have even been in the NBA,
Phil
and
Jackson.
they have to. And you know who's going to be
the rare.
TJ McConnell is going to be a great coach.
Probably.
Like he's just got the composition of it. 5'10", short, stocky, knows the game, but he's not physically equipped, so he's got to maximize everything else.
Nah, the rare exception was Larry Bird. He was the only one that was like a good coach, good player. You know what I'm saying? All around. You know, did whatever.
Yeah.
But
that's that back injury.
Yeah, probably.
For real, I think on some level, it's like if you're...
You got to be more cerebral when you're not as physically, you know, your physical gifts start going away.
Because people, since Larry was white, think he wasn't athletic.
Oh, he was a beast.
So that's the thing people don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, I think he was more athletic than Magic.
He definitely, I think he was.
Magic wasn't physically gifted. I think Magically was cerebrally gifted. Like he just understood the fucking game.
He thought the game better than anybody.
Oh, IQ out of this fucking world. He just, it was in slow motion for him. And probably to Larry to some extent as well. But in terms of like sheer physicality, like Larry was dunking on motherfuckers.
Yeah, Larry was dunking on people. He was getting like 10 rebounds a game.
Crazy,
like,
crazy.
Like what?
He was the first unicorn.
Magic's hand-eye.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, Magic's hand-eye. Uncomparable. You can't do it. You know, but I think people sleep on Larry because he's just so goofy and white looking. They're like, oh, there's no way that he was actually a physical player.
Yeah, like I saw some shitty fucking meme online. It's like, oh my god, you think this guy in the NBA would cook this? Oh my god, you let this guy Larry Bird. I'm like,
yes,
that's how I know motherfuckers do not watch basketball. I'm like, Larry Bird was that. You know, part of my language, Larry Bird was that nigga, bro. I'm sorry. Like, if you didn't watch this guy play in his prime, like you don't like, especially now with the 3-heavy league.
Forget it.
When you could pump in like 10 threes a game, and that's a good like. Dog, Larry would average 30 now. Healthy Larry,
dude, easily,
really easily, and you know, without the back injury, when he could still move around,
forget it.
Like the motherfucker locked up, played defense, was. He's not no freakish athlete, but he was an NBA athlete.
But who's gonna guard it? It's like Dirk. Remember when Dirk had his tear? It's like you have an unguardable shot.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it. I mean, I can't imagine what it was like for you.
Yeah.
The excitement level.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, because I remember watching like, is this guy gonna carry the entire fucking team?
I just kept waiting. Even when the Mavs were up 3-0 or 3-0 on the Lakers, I was like, they might. Like I'm waiting to see them collapse.
Yeah.
It never happened. It was so fucking crazy.
Because that was the whole knock on Dirk for his whole career. It's like, oh, he's soft, doesn't have the killer instinct.
And to be honest, he kind of was. And this is something.
It was because that Warrior series with the We Believe when he was MVP.
I saw that shit. They were the 1 seed. He was the MVP. They lost to the 8 seed Warriors, Baron Davis Warriors. But I saw him evolve, and this is something we should talk about because I always early on was like LeBron will never be Jordan. Whatever. KD, someone said KD could be something. I was like, KD will never be. We got to stop the will never be.
Yeah.
Because careers are 18 years. Think about how different you are from 18 to 36 or 15 to 33 or 10 to 28.
Sure.
That's what's going to happen to these players.
We're really judging kids.
You are judging children. And I saw
they're
Dirk
21 years old.
Yeah.
Th're 22. That's a great fucking
point.
Millionaires. That's a great point.
They're 22-year-old lottery winners. They just suddenly get millions of dollars.
Wow.
22 years old.
We're judging a character that's underdeveloped. You don't even know who you are. You don't know your dude.
And you got to remember, a lot of these times, like the KDs, the LeBrons, those guys, they're given the keys to the franchise out the gate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
before they're finished what is it called? They're finished cooking. You know how like your head's still soft because your brain still has to grow?
Before they're matured, man.
They're not even, their brain's still growing. They're who they are in the game. That's a great. So then what do you think it is with KD? Is KD at the age where he's done, Akaash, or is it like...
I mean, I don't think you're done until you're done, really.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe LeBron is a good example because outside of the finals, this playoffs, he rewrote his narrative in a way, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, before this, he doesn't deliver. Even like my NBA guys, right? They were saying the one knock on him is he doesn't have 40-point games in the playoffs, which means he's not going out there to personally kill you in the way that Jordan or Kobe would do it.
Yeah.
They would kill you themselves.
And he changed that this postseason.
Now he has the most
He has the
40-point
most
games
ever.
of anybody in the league, so it's insane,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
what becomes of KD, and at what point do we decide that his character is established?
I think, and I could be wrong because again, we don't know. None of us know the future. My guess is he's going to leave Golden State.
Yeah,
At
I
some
think so.
point.
Oh, okay.
I
Not
think so
this.
one day.
No. Not
Either
he's
he's going to
re-signing this
leave or
time.
someone's going to leave.
Someone's
Not
going to leave,
now.
or he's going to just become the undisputed. Like Steph has some crazy injury, and then that season, there's any number of things could happen. My guess, the most logical one, is he just leaves at some point because he's not happy there.
Yeah.
He's happy there, but he's not fulfilled in the way he thought he would be.
Do you
You'll
think
see-
that he'll ever be fulfilled?
You don't say shit like this from a fulfilled
Well,
place.
here's my thing. I think he realized when he went there and won and still wasn't happy.
Yeah,
and we
you guys
spoke
called
about this on this
Yeah.
show.
You guys called this.
Wait.
I didn't.
It's that void shit I was
Yeah.
talking about, dog. Like it was that, like when you,
You think
have
it
a
feels
void,
different. You
he
think
thought
it'll
it
feel
was
different
cured.
when you get it.
He
Yeah.
thought everything was going to
And
be
it's like,
there.
that's
He
not
was
it.
going to be
Great
happy.
insight. Yeah.
Mhm.
So maybe if he knows he's not going to be happy, does he keep chasing, or on some level does he go, hey, this is where I will be happiest?
I think right now he's thinking, don't fuck up a good thing. If I had to guess,
Yeah.
my guess is he's thinking, you know what? I'm winning championships. I'm finals MVP both years. Let's not fuck up a good thing.
Yeah.
This is,
because I'm not going to be happy nowhere.
and this is,
And he's got to recognize that on some
and
level.
actually, Simmons, we knock Simmons a lot, but I was listening to his podcast with Jalen
Sure.
Rose, and he was saying, like, I think KD, from what I've spoken to him, said he just thought basketball could be played at a higher level than what he was playing with Russ, and it definitely can.
And they can.
And
yeah.
that was the appeal of
Yeah.
Golden State,
Mhm.
which sucks for us, and I still hate it. But I think he's like, all right, I'm winning finals MVP, I'm winning championships, I'm playing basketball at a very high level with very smart guys. Let's not fuck this up. But something isn't right yet.
He'll never, dude, as talented as he is, and as proficient a defender as he's becoming, that was the knock on him, right?
Yeah.
Is he only plays one side of the ball. He's become a very proficient defender who can defend multiple positions. Undeniably, like you said, maybe the second best offensive player in the league.
Mm.
He'll never be put in the Rushmore convo unless he does it on his own.
Yeah.
Even
Right?
for me.
I mean, we didn't. I honestly, like, that was the knock on LeBron a little bit. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
that's what I'm
Like,
saying. Even for me, I wouldn't give LeBron GOAT. Then this year, he really had to carry a team, and I'm like, oh, maybe LeBron is the
Yeah.
GOAT. I'm an idiot just like everybody else.
And to be fair,
Well, no, I think you had justified reasoning, though, because
Yeah.
he didn't
Right.
carry, right? Like,
Right.
he was
Okay,
the
fair
guy
enough, yeah.
who
he had
you-
Wade and Bosh. Like,
you-
he enjoyed the team. You know what I'm saying?
but like on
no
some level,
matter-
it's not bias. It's like we're judging people based on what they give us. We can't judge you on the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan gave us killer.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
motherfucker was. I
But people
remember
don't- but people
8
don't
minutes left in the fourth quarter. Jordan, it was
Yeah.
frightening.
Yeah,
Terrifying.
but people
Frightening.
people forget though. Like, and that's the thing. Like, we got to stop judging people on, like, while they're still playing. You know what I mean? Because a lot of time, like, people just thought before Jordan won his first title, even before he won his second title, people just thought Jordan was just this overrated gunner.
Could
Like,
he
a
be
lot of
better
people
than
thought he
Dr.
was-
J? I remember watching the
Yeah.
game on ESPN Classic.
Could
That's
he
the
be better
question
than
they were
Magic? Could he
asking.
be better than Bird? People just thought he was just an overrated gunner until he won the second title. Because the first title, they were like, oh, well, you know, the Lakers were kind of old. Like, it wasn't the real Showtime Lakers.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
they got
yeah.
their ass buzzed.
It was
It wasn't
stars.
until he went through the Blazers, and then he went through
35 and a
all these
half or
other
whatever it
teams.
was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
The shrug
That's
game.
the
Yes.
Drexler and
Drexler and Cliff Robinson and those guys.
Yeah.
It wasn't until then when people are like, okay, this guy might be getting into that rare air. And I kind of think, that happened with LeBron too. A lot of people didn't think that he had that inner thing in him to be that killer when it was absolutely needed. And I think, and just to get a quick sidebar, the Warriors have had an unprecedented amount of luck as well that we don't discuss a lot. And I think until KD has to go against that, they won't really look at him in the same way that they look at, the greats.
we need to see you overcome adversity, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's a reason the David and Goliath story still exists, and exists in movies, it exists in TV shows, and exists not only in terms of like the Bible, but in terms of the stories that we look at, every single day on Instagram. You see a little guy in a fight with the big guy, the little guy knocks him out. It's like, yo, you got to check this out. It's like a fun story, right? And I think that the Warriors are Goliath, and until you beat them like LeBron did, LeBron has always been viewed as Goliath, right? He is a Goliath. He's
Right.
6'9", he's perfect. Everything is right. He is the ideal basketball player, but he was finally positioned in a way where he was David.
Yeah.
And that proved himself
Yeah.
to us in a weird way. KD and the Warriors are going to need that fucking adversity.
Yeah. And two things. One, again, I think a lot of it is a player's mind can evolve. I think LeBron, as he got older, evolved into more of a killer. I saw it happen with Dirk.
When did it happen because he made a decision, or do you think it happened because he was left? Like, adversity introduces a man to
That's
himself.
what I'm saying. I think life happens.
Yes,
Like
yes,
Dirk,
yes.
I remember.
I don't have teammates.
Well,
I have to kill.
So Dirk, Guy talked about this on the ticket also, but I remember, I don't know if y'all knew this. The series they lost to the Nuggets, I think in the first round, when the Nuggets made it to the conference finals, Dirk was engaged to a girl who was like a fucking con artist.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was
and
in love
then-
with her. She was a stripper that was like trying to steal money from him, whatever.
Yeah.
And in that series, that had just happened, but he like really manned up and he was going inside. And I remember before, this won't matter in a Mavericks context, but in a larger context, he would always drive, and then like for the layup, he would just flail and try to draw the foul. And
Yeah.
I'd get so frustrated as a fan, like, yo,
Finish.
make the fucking layup, and if they call the
Yeah.
foul, you get an extra point.
Yeah.
Then I saw in that Golden State series, he's just posting up the whole series. And then the next year he goes to playoffs, and again, inside out. Then the year they won the finals, it wasn't pull-up threes all like that. It wasn't outside, inside out, or outside, inside. It was inside, then outside. He evolved as a man and realized, all right, fuck this. I'm going to win this thing. This is how you win this thing.
Yeah.
Let's go body to body. Let's do what we got to do.
Yeah.
LeBron, same thing. This year especially, he said, I hit a turning point where I was like, look, this is the team. I'm going to make the best of this situation that I can. This year. He talks about that. Right before the trade deadline, he says he made this switch.
Yeah.
I believe that. I don't believe his hand thing. I believe that.
Right.
But that was like, this year was like, all right, this is it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody. Let's go. 7 games against Boston. I'll play 48 in game 7. Let's go.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck it takes. And I think it had been building for a while, but this is like, we saw it.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. It's like situational. Sometimes you need a fucked up situation to show you like how deep you can go into the well.
Yeah, I think 3-1 showed him a lot. Come back from 3-1, and I think this again was like, all right, let's go. Now,
maybe this humbles him.
That's
LeBron?
what I.
Whoa.
Okay,
What were
that's
you
actually
saying?
perfect.
Go.
Okay, you go ahead because then I'm going to segue into the next thing. with
Okay,
this.
because so maybe so LeBron comes back 3-1 against the Warriors.
Right.
I mean, athletes are arrogant when it comes to their skill, right? Every player in the league thinks they could drop 20 if they just get the shots.
Right.
So imagine what LeBron thinks. He thinks that he can beat the Warriors by himself.
Mhm.
I don't think we're doubting him, but I think he truly believes he can, especially he came back from 3-1. This is LeBron,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? Maybe he needed this sweep to go, all right, I need to go back to Miami, the
Yes.
proverbial Miami.
Yes.
I need more help than George Hill.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
I need more help than an aging JR.
Yes.
I need more help than Kevin Love.
And that's exactly what I was going to segue into with this. I think LeBron, we disagree. I don't think he's good at playing GM. I don't think he's good at being head coach. I think you
I
need
agree
a
with
good
you on
head
the
coach.
GM thing. I thought about that a lot after
Yeah.
last week. That
Yeah.
He definitely has.
I think you had a good point about that.
I
we
honestly
can't
think
get
he would have
I
been
was-
better off with the team he started off with this year.
and try to see if it could
And-
make it
and
work.
just
Yeah,
make the shit work, dog.
Yeah.
Like I'm
you
sorry,
could use Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas, a healthy Isaiah Thomas.
You could use
even fucking Dwayne Wade
Bro,
could
Crowder.
have came in handy.
real,
I mean?
especially in this playoffs when
Yeah.
we're like, hey, Dwayne.
Go get a bucket.
Give me
I need someone to
two.
go get a
I need
bucket.
2 because I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And that kept on happening in this series. I need 2, and nobody could give him 2.
Jay Crowder's a great defender. Anyway, he's not. He can be a head coach on the floor, but you still need a head
Got
coach.
you.
And I think that moment at the end of game 1, we've all seen this clip now where he's sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
J.R. Smith doesn't know the fucking score.
Yeah.
George Hill can't hit a free throw. Ty Lue, I think he's really pissed. Then he says to Ty Lue, I think he's just looking for confirmation on the fact that this guy didn't call the fucking timeout he knew he had.
Yeah.
When he's just sitting on the bench, he says, we didn't have a timeout? Ty Lue says we had a timeout, and you see LeBron fucking, to me,
Yeah.
I saw him leave Cleveland right there.
Yeah.
But I think that was when he was like, hopefully, as an idealistic fan, that's when he said, I can't do this anymore. I need a real coach. I need a real team. Maybe I don't need to control everything. Maybe I go back to my proverbial Miami. So my segue into this is, where is Miami?
Okay, go. What do you think?
Fan brought this up at the live show. Read an
Okay.
article about it on The Ringer. I would still love the Spurs if Kawhi is healthy. If not, Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's your take, Boston.
That's my take.
And does Kyrie stay or go?
I think
Because
ideally
we're going to have to talk about the hot take about where Kyrie could go, but we'll save that for a second. That's
okay.
spicy.
Okay.
That's spicy. That's a spicy
That's
one.
the take on the ringer that I'm going to bring up right now.
Yeah.
The ideal, I think ideally you keep Hayward because he's a nice shooter, scorer, whatever for LeBron. See what he can do.
Yeah.
Broken leg, you come back from that.
LeBron love a white boy. LeBron love a white boy. He got a Valanciunas or not a Valanciunas. What's his Ilgauskas?
You need a
You know what I mean?
Varejao.
He had the tattooed white boy over there. He need a nice white boy who's gonna do what he says. Got a haircut like
Mike
me.
Miller.
Mike Miller.
Somebody.
Yo, LeBron love a white boy.
Love a white boy.
A white boy that keeps some shit in line. You know,
He
JR,
love a white
stop
boy.
smoking weed. A white boy, go tell him.
Yo, a white dude would have known the fucking score at the end of game one. Straight up. No fucking question a white guy knows the score.
Big
Not that they're
facts.
smarter, they're just not. They can't get by being dumb. There's dumb white guys out there and they're not in the NBA. They're not
Corver
good
doesn't have the athleticism to
No,
not know
he
the score.
doesn't.
He
He
needs to know
doesn't.
exactly how many threes he needs
enough.
to
No,
hit.
it's his jump shot is out of a fucking textbook.
Yeah, it's a beautiful.
I think you keep Hayward and then 3-team deal.
Whoa.
Oh, I thought this is what y'all were talking about. This is what I would do. 3-team deal. Because LeBron, to go to Boston, has to opt into his contract, sign, and trade. Boston can send a first-round pick to Cleveland.
Okay.
They can send Kyrie to a third team, New York. New York will send their number 9 pick to Cleveland. So they'll get number 9 and then a
And they
first-round pick from
already
Boston.
have number 8.
They already have number 8. And then Boston gets LeBron. And then you'd have to send contracts probably to make it work, but Boston's got contracts that are expiring.
I know I've been hating on Brad Stevens.
Yes.
I would love to see LeBron with Brad Stevens.
That's what I'm saying. And that with Jason
Ugh.
Tatum, so the starting 5, if you keep Hayward, is I also have another trade scenario, but I'm gonna let you do this first. The starting 5 would be Terry Rozier, who's not amazing, but he's a good, solid point. Gordon Hayward, maybe 2 or 3. Jason Tatum, 2 or 3. LeBron at 4. Al Horford at 5. Jaylen Brown off the bench as your 6th man. That's a fucking crazy lineup.
Kazim?
I
Like, who
disagree.
the fuck is Kazim?
I disagree.
Okay. But real quick, we can acknowledge that would be a spicy team. Is there enough shooting for LeBron? LeBron needs shooters.
Yeah.
Terry can shoot.
If you keep scaring
Horford
Terry,
can shoot.
Jason
Whoa.
Tatum could shoot.
Horford can shoot outside.
And
Horford can
Hayward,
shoot it.
all 5 players can bang.
Horford is Kevin Love, but all the things that Kevin Love lacks, Horford has.
Here's the thing. I don't think LeBron goes to Boston.
I don't think
I
he
think
does.
it's Kyrie.
I don't think it is,
Because
but
of
it's
Kyrie, I
a
don't think he goes.
sexy fucking.
I would love it. I would fucking
Very,
love it.
very. But I do think that
And a nice fuck you to, and a nice fuck you to Kyrie.
Yeah.
would be
It'd
nice.
be
Oh,
the
you-
best. It'd
You
be
got
the
that
best.
Uncle Drew movie coming out? That's cute. Have fun in
It's
New
my
York.
team now, bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I still think the look for him is either LA or Philly. I still think he needs a team with not only shooters,
Okay.
not only guys that get their own buckets, but length. The way to give the Warriors problems is length.
That's why
And
I
I
said
think-
Boston.
I think the Lakers have similar length to the Boston Celtics when it comes to Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Julius Randle,
Interesting.
Lonzo Ball. You slip LeBron James and Paul George in there.
That's right. They
That's
have
a
2
very
squads.
good fucking squad.
So let's back this
That's
up.
a very good
Let's
squad.
back this up and match it up with Boston.
Mhm.
And goddamn, would that be a sexy Western Conference?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
if the
gosh.
Spurs are operating
Showtime
at
is
full
back.
potential, Showtime's back.
Mhm.
If Kawhi comes back to the Spurs,
Mm.
obviously Golden State and the Rockets are going to be there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, you don't even need to watch the Eastern Conference playoffs.
Right.
And I mean, think about it, right?
Yeah.
What's sexier than those final 4 teams?
And Boston's
competing?
going to be good, but Kyrie's going to get hurt again.
Sure.
Mhm.
I'm with you on that. Okay.
And Philly will be back as well.
So here's my thing with Philly. I would love to believe that he comes to New York. Somehow that got taken out of the equation. There was talks about him coming to New York, right? Like like a week ago, there was talks about it, right?
Yeah.
I never heard
I
that.
think
then
Kenyon
Anyone
Martin
except
said
you
that.
guys.
Oh, it's
Kenyon
just
Martin
Kenyon
said
Martin.
that,
That's the
yeah.
thing about being a New York Knicks fan. A homeless guy could say it, and then we'd be like, "Yo, it's a possibility, bro. No, it is true. Here's you go. Here's 50 cents." Yeah. So there's a scenario of going to LA. I'm trying to think if that's a better team than at Boston. Let's assume Paul George goes there as well. So now you have Lonzo, point guard,
Right.
but can't shoot at all. That's a big fucking problem for LeBron.
Yeah.
He needs shooters.
Yeah.
Ooh. And 2, Lonzo is ineffective unless he has the ball.
And will LeVar shut up if LeBron goes there?
LeVar's already quiet.
All right, fair
We
enough.
don't even hear him that much.
Okay, fair
Right?
enough.
But now the
During
mic's
season,
gonna
we did.
the mic is gonna be in his face a lot more if LeBron's there. That's absolutely right.
LeBron's not going to want this.
Not at all.
He's not going to have
And
it.
then they might have to have that conversation. I think that LeBron's got enough juice that maybe LeVar, especially because at the end of the day, LeVar wants his kid to win.
Right.
And that's the best chance that LeBron goes there. My concern is this. If you're Lonzo Ball, how do you fit in the LeBron James offense? LeBron is going to need the ball. Lonzo is inept without the ball. Can't shoot the corner three. Can't shoot pull up anything.
Yeah.
He needs the ball. And when he has the ball, he can be a genius with it.
Yeah.
But
That's
he
my
needs
issue
the
with it.
ball.
With similar to Philly, that's my issue. Is the point guard needs the ball.
My feeling with Philly is they
I
don't have the
agree.
shooters.
Yeah.
I don't agree.
Wait a minute, hold on.
I don't agree.
Talk to me.
I think LeBron is tired. I think he's tired.
Okay.
I think he wants to play off the ball. I think he said something very striking to me in that press conference. And he said he wants to go and play with players with the same, give or take a few words, the same basketball IQ as him or higher.
So that wasn't a knock at JR for not knowing the score?
I'm sure it was a knock at JR.
I think it was a knock
At the same
and
time,
also
I think it's yeah.
like a hint.
It was definitely a hint that like, yo, I want to play off the ball, dude. I don't want to have to do everything. I want to just score. I want to just
be
rebound.
KD.
I want to yeah.
I want to.
Like
I
want to be able to get a lot of one-on-ones, dude. Like I want to be able to preserve. I'm on year 15. I can't keep doing this for another 5, 6, 7 years, man. Like I think he wants to go and play with a real deal point guard, a Chris Paul, a Lonzo Ball,
To that
a
end.
Ben Simmons. Like those guys who can take the ball out of Bron's hands. Like yo, instead of you putting everybody else in positions to get buckets, I'm gonna put you in position to get buckets.
Real quick. What about LeBron and Lonzo running that pick and roll?
Oh, I'm telling you, I think that the second half, the second act, or the third act of LeBron's career is him being a do everything in the small ball era, the fucking unguardable power forward in the NBA, where he does everything.
This is what we've been wanting to be. For
Everything
a while.
meaning what? Everything.
Where I'm talking about like
post inside
up,
out.
pick and roll option off of anything.
So basically, Al
Being able-
Horford on fucking roids.
Yeah, instead of having your best defender guard you as a point guard because you're bringing the ball up, we're doing a pick and roll, and it's mismatch city all day long. The reason why KD cooks so much, he was already going to cook regardless. He's an amazing scorer, but he has so much room to operate because after the offense opens up, it's just KD and you can't stop KD by yourself. You
But
can't
if
stop
they
LeBron
go underneath
by yourself.
every screen because Lonzo can't hit a three, that's gonna fucking.
He's decent. He's gotten better as a shooter. His first couple, he's a rookie.
I'm
Whatever.
not
I think he'll
sold
improve.
on the Lakers.
It's an ugly form, but it hits when he's hitting. He's had some decent
And he'll get
shooting.
lots of easy shots with LeBron. We know that for a fact,
Mhm.
right? LeBron's gonna give you opportunities. Everybody that plays with him is gonna get easier opportunities.
Yeah, true. I'm just not sold on them. Nah, I could be wrong. Let me ask you this though. I put this on Twitter, and I thought it would be a story, and it isn't. But this chick got like 500 retweets, people got pissed about it or really happy about it. Here's an option with LA, possibility. Chris Paul is free. I would be surprised if the Rockets were willing to offer him a supermax. So LeBron could call him and say, "Listen, LA's got 2 max slots. Lonzo will figure that out. I want somebody who wants to win like I do. I want somebody who has the IQ that I do. Paul George would be great. You're my homie. That's half our banana boat. Melo will come over at some point. Why don't we both go to LA?"
Banana boats. Go on the banana boat.
I think that's an interesting idea.
Mhm.
But now that you brought up banana boat, I have to put one scenario out there.
Mhm.
Does LeBron go to Oklahoma City?
No. No.
Just think about it for a second.
Someone said this.
Nope.
Would
Just
you
think
send
about
me
it for a
this? Somebody
second.
send us
Maybe
this.
there was some guy that sent it around, and I was like, "This is absurd." But apparently, this guy also predicted KD going to the Warriors, which is a pretty easy prediction.
Pretty easy to pick, yeah.
But I don't believe LeBron would ever want to play with Russ.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think anybody wants
I
to
don't
play
think
with
anybody
Russ.
really wants to play with that guy, to be honest. I mean, certain skill sets, it'll probably fit better for you, but like,
No,
you
you don't
you don't
want
want to be another alpha over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so then fuck it. Let's scrap the idea.
Mhm.
Definitely leaving Cleveland. Is there any way that he can come to the Knicks? Would he consider coming to the Knicks? And if he does come to the Knicks, can the Knicks also afford?
No,
We can't afford Paul George.
I don't think so. I don't think. Well, Enes Kanter would have to opt out, and obviously, I'm gonna be realistic because a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't think LeBron comes to the Knicks, But
Okay,
in
now
a
can we have
magical,
fun?
in a
Yeah, let's have
magical
fun.
Okay, I'm gonna go
way.
pee right
Yeah,
because you know I always
Enos
have to pee
Kanter-
every episode. This is my time. Y'all have
Got
fun.
you.
I was
Go.
about to say I got to pee too.
All right, we'll take
Enos
turns.
Kanter will
I do
have
as well.
to. Enos Kanter would have to opt out of his contract. They'd have to somehow jettison themselves of Joakim Noah's money, and they would still have to worry about. Gosh, who else? I think if they could figure out some way to and it's damn near impossible.
So
'cause
Enos
no
has
one's
to
gonna
get out
take-
of his contract.
No one's gonna take that Joakim Noah contract.
Okay,
And
but
Enos
can't
has
we
a-
just do a buy? This guy's on fucking Gilligan's Island.
Enos
He's
has a player
dyeing his
option.
hair blonde. Can we can't just have a conversation with him and be like, listen, we're gonna give you half of it. Beat it. Now you don't have to suit up. You don't want to suit up. You don't
Nah.
want to come to the game. You
No,
don't
he
want to
doesn't.
play.
He doesn't give a fuck.
You wouldn't take half the money. You're already a millionaire. You wouldn't take half the money to
Mhm.
have your freedom,
Of course, but no, I wouldn't actually.
son. If that's
This is-
me,
this is
he's doing
Joakim's
suicides every
It's his
day.
last. It's his last big contract, dog. He doesn't give a fuck. You gonna pay me? That's why I don't think.
Pay me.
That's why I don't think if Chris Paul doesn't get, if the Houston Rockets don't get LeBron, that's why I think Chris Paul's like, nah, motherfucker, I need my supermax. You gonna have to pay me, motherfucker. You have to give
Ooh,
me
the
all
only
my
way I'm
money.
taking less is if we get LeBron.
And even if they do get LeBron, I don't think he takes less.
Nah, son. If I'm Chris Paul is so fucking competitive, bro.
Yeah.
And he's gonna look at that Golden State
Mhm.
team. He's gonna be like, oh shit, all them are taking less,
Yeah.
and I won a ring,
Yeah.
and I got literally 2 more years to be the most effective player I am to get one.
It's the only way it's gonna work. People got to take less money, and I don't think anyone on the Knicks makes that happen. I think the Knicks' best bet in the next year. I think 2019 they become relevant again. I honestly think Kyrie's a viable option because Boston media is already floating around the story like, oh, Kyrie might leave, yada yada yada. I think they want to save some money. I think they want to keep Scary Terry. I think the injury stuff has kind of scared them a little bit, and I think Kyrie's a free agent after this year. You know what I'm saying? Like he's from our backyard in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's that, I don't think it's that far-fetched to see Irving in a Knicks uniform.
But does Kyrie want to?
In 2019, not next year.
Right. But does Kyrie want to play for the Knicks just to play for them, or does he want to play on contenders?
I think the Knicks, people, gosh, I don't
We're-
want
okay,
this
let
to
me
be, I don't want this
go
to
back.
be my
Let me
home
go back
bias.
just 1 second. Let me
Okay,
go back
yeah,
just
yeah.
1 second. Do you think it's possible? Because the Boston media machine
It's
is
working.
fucking savage.
It's working. That's what
And
they do.
Every story that they put out, they know how to get traction, and it becomes a real story, right? They put out the Brad Stevens is a genius thing, and every time something worked out, we credited Brad Stevens. We're not crediting the outstanding play of the players. We're crediting Stevens, right? He calls some play. Horford gets an amazing position underneath the basket, grabs an incredible pass, finishes down low, and everybody goes, what a play by Brad Stevens. Is it really that great a play to just tell the whole team to go to the half-court line and leave one guy under the bat? Is that genius? Or did Al Horford make an incredibly brilliant and athletic play and finish?
I do think there is a part of
little
Boston
bias.
media where they kind of undervalue their players and overvalue their coaches.
In all sports,
For
right?
football,
Of course.
baseball, basketball.
Absolutely.
They're like, oh, we're the big sports down guy. We know what they.
They know what's up.
They,
And on
they do
some
that.
level, it kind of makes sense because you want to empower the people that aren't going to leave as easily,
Mhm.
right? I
Mhm.
get it. I get the philosophy.
Mhm.
So let's assume that's going on that, right?
Mhm.
Does Boston media start inserting these stories that Kyrie wants to leave?
Oh, absolutely.
But wait for it. When Kyrie has no intention whatsoever, they're just preparing to get him out of there
Mhm.
without the Boston backlash.
Of course.
So-
Easier narrative to sell even than that. Kyrie's not a good team player. He didn't come to Game 7.
Sure.
He's selfish.
Secretly, Celtics
He's got
players
his
were
movie
upset.
coming out.
Hey,
He's got his
How
little.
about this? If we want to get really nefarious, how about this? Hey, Kyrie, we have the best nasal surgeon in the world, but the only problem is there's one day that he has open, and it just so
during Game
happens to be
7.
Game 7. Would you like to do it? Maybe Boston media, like I've been saying this whole fucking time, is so sinister that they've seen how well Terry played, or Scary Terry played, well enough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well enough.
Well enough to get you to the Eastern Conference Finals, Game 7 against the greatest player in history.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
The bunch of fucking rookies who are only going to get better. Maybe they float these stories right now so they can either force Kyrie's hand to leave or set it up so it's okay to trade him. I do not put this past Boston. I do not put it past Boston because you set the table before you do anything. Oh, Kyrie's not even interested. Oh, Kyrie wasn't even at the game. Oh, Kyrie is... Right. Kyrie. A lot of Kyrie.
I think there is some truth to what you're saying about the Boston media being very savvy. I also think Bill Belichick lost Tom Brady for an entire year, still went 11-5, should have made the playoffs. Crazy circumstances he didn't. I think first time in history an 11-5 team didn't make the playoffs. Danny Ainge did a great job building a team. Traded KG and Paul Pierce in the greatest trade in NBA history.
Sure.
Fucking heist. Brad Stevens, players leave his team, suddenly aren't good. Players come to his team, suddenly they are good. All these things are facts.
Not discrediting
there is something to...
Just the stories.
They have a lot of power. If nothing else, they have a lot of power. So the narrative they
in
write
sports
holds sway. Yeah.
Whatever the story they start, ESPN picks it up.
Bob Ryan is incredibly respected.
That's the guy who was at the Herald?
Yeah.
So that's the guy. I didn't know his fucking name, but whenever, dude, I bet you if we did some, like, one day we're going to have a big enough sports empire where we can, send some interns to do some research on something. But I guarantee you, every major pro or negative Boston story
started with Bob Ryan.
That's matriculating in the media starts with something with Ryan, and that's or one of these other guys.
Right.
But it starts with the Herald. Hey, this is what we need. We need you to get out there, son. If I'm the Philadelphia, real quick, if I'm the Philadelphia 76ers, right, I'm reacting to a franchise-threatening story with Colangelo and these tweets and all this stuff that Simmons gets out there in the world, that Boston is so happy is out there because that's their big competition, right?
Yeah.
If I'm the Philadelphia 76ers,
right,
I am spending an exorbitant amount of money and time to research.
That's a good point.
The stories that Ryan is putting out and to research the connection between the franchise and the players, and specifically Kyrie, and how they're planning to get Kyrie out of there. Because if you can find some connection between the villainization of Kyrie and the Boston Celtics, in my opinion, that's worse than the Colangelo story, because that's a culture that exists in Boston.
No, yeah. So, listen, I don't think it's as sinister as you do. I'm not running with that necessarily. It is crazy that the Ringer, a Boston sports guy, leaks a story about Colangelo.
Come on,
that's definitely something. I don't know what it is, but that's definitely worth noting at least. Now, here's what I'll also say. They don't really care. Danny Ainge traded Isaiah Thomas. Do you remember before this year what we thought of Isaiah Thomas? This guy put his career on the line to play sports, was heavily recruiting for Boston, et cetera, and then they just fucking traded him.
Yeah, savages.
They are savages, and they don't necessarily need you to rewrite the narrative.
Now, they know that they can't do that with another point guard that is coming off of an injury. Mm-hmm. Right? They know they can't do that twice in a row.
You think they won't? I think they will.
No. No. I think they will, but I'm saying is they know PR-wise, they got to protect themselves a little bit, right? Like, I mean, I'll give you some wild shit that is, I mean, this is crazy and out there, but it might be true, right? So Turkey wants to be part of the EU, right? Now, Angela Merkel is the prime minister of Germany, right? Mm-hmm. She runs shit for the European Union, right? I don't know if she wants Turkey to be in the EU. Mm. Could be many different reasons. They have a strong economy. Maybe she likes being the strongest economy. Germany's being the strongest economy. She likes to control. Maybe there's racial stuff with Islam. Now, she lets in 2 million or 1.5 million refugees, right? Syrian refugees. So now she can do anything she wants to block that Turkish entry to the EU because she's protected from any Islamophobia by saying, we let in all the refugees.
Right. Okay.
Maybe something similar is happening with this story here. Right? I'm going to protect myself for some savage Boston shit by villainizing Kyrie before we do anything.
Which I would love, because LeBron going to Houston is what, in my mind, is the most likely to happen.
I would love that to happen.
But here's what I don't like about it. It's like when LeBron went to Miami. And you got Chris Bosh and LeBron and Dwayne Wade, and that's an incredible big three. But then to make those salaries work, you had to gut the team. Houston would have to gut the team. From what I've read, they would have to trade. They'd have to get rid of Anderson's contract, and to make that work, they would probably have to trade Gordon. Someone would take him on.
I like Gordon.
So exactly, you're losing Gordon. Ariza's free. You're probably not going to be able to afford him. Capella's free. You're not going to be able to afford him. You lost 3 big supporting pieces. You're still better, but Miami didn't win every championship LeBron was there. they can still get beaten by a great team. What KD did was go to a team that was ready built that had a max salary slot left. Boston is closer to that. Not as good as Golden State was, but closer to that.
That's interesting. This Boston thing, I know Kaz isn't part of it. Kaz is checked out. He's just texting.
I'm sorry. I'm just
texting his white girls. He's setting up for whatever
sorry.
city
no,
he's going to.
I'm checking. I'm sorry.
Where are you going to? Nova Scotia?
I'm going to Little Rock, Arkansas.
Oh, there we go. Get it, bro. Get it.
There you go.
But I love this Boston scenario, man. You don't buy it at all.
I don't buy it.
I just don't think there's enough shooters in Philly, right? I think that with LeBron, who can shoot the three in Philly?
Here's the thing: shooters.
JJ Redick.
JJ
Redick. And he's
Dario Saric.
He's done. JJ Redick and Saric.
LeBron is the great gravitational pull.
So okay, shooters will come.
Shooters will come. Shooters will come. You know what I mean?
If you bring Brown, they will come.
You're not gonna find another Embiid. You're not gonna find another Ben Simmons. You're not gonna find another, if he turns out to be good, Markelle Fultz. Right?
Okay.
You put LeBron there, you could find there will be great shooters that will come for the cheap,
just to have the opportunity.
Go to Philly and know, hey, I'm going to the finals. I got a shot.
Okay.
If all I got to do is come and do what I've done my whole life, catch and shoot. I guarantee you. I don't know Kyle Korver's situation. I guarantee you he'll do the James Jones and follow LeBron wherever
you want to go. We go. I'll follow you.
That's
fair. Here's one thing: Joel Embiid will get exposed by the Golden State Warriors in a way that we maybe have never seen a player get exposed before.
I don't think so.
There is no way in hell Joel Embiid, slow, lazy ass, can chase around anybody in that Hamptons 5.
He won't need to chase.
So what's going to happen when Steph Curry's just knocking down threes in the corner?
He don't need to chase. They got Robert Covington. Robert Covington will do that.
And when he gets picked off?
Ben Simmons. Pretty good defender for a rookie.
No, Ben Simmons can defend. But what happens when it's Joel Embiid on Steph Curry? What happens when it's Joel Embiid on Kevin Durant? What's happening? He is a defensive liability unless he's going up against a 7'2" Russian.
What's Kevin Durant going to do against Joel Embiid? Why are we asking ourselves that question? Joel Embiid is a massive, large
trade 2 for
person.
3. I'll trade
Joel
2 for 3
can shoot the 3. Joel can shoot the 3.
Yeah, but Kevin Durant can guard him at the 3.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's going to.
I'll trade 2 for 3.
Also,
that's what I'm saying.
Also,
I'll trade it.
I don't have faith in Brett Brown as a coach.
That's another thing.
He got severely outcoached by Boston.
Yeah.
Severely.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal.
In coaching scenarios.
Yes, exactly. Well said. In specific coaching scenarios.
The only thing you need to do is coach.
He got worked. And so I want LeBron to finally have a great coach.
Yeah.
The other thing with Boston that's interesting is you could trade Hayward on his sign and trade. Get rid of him and move him, whatever. Keep Kyrie and then trade, if he's on the market, which I don't think he is actually, from what I've read, Kyrie for Kawhi. Similar players, and the fact that they got the same contract.
Heartbeat.
You send Kyrie and a first-round pick. They're both coming off injuries.
Yeah.
Both, whatever, kind of mercurial. Just do whatever would make that work somehow. And then you got LeBron, Kyrie, Scary Terry, Tatum, and Brown. And
I'll be honest, I get rid of Hayward too. I think that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum's ceilings are much fucking higher than Hayward. What is this love fest with Hayward? Can someone explain this to me?
I didn't watch him play.
Gordon Hayward was coming off probably his best statistical season.
Well, how good was that relative to the rest of the league? Because
No,
I didn't watch.
He was an efficient player. He was dunking on people. That was kind of funny. Like every once in a while, he just would come through the lane and yam it two-handed on people.
I did not think he had it in him to get that. He's swole. That guy's got it.
No, he's built right. All I'm saying is you have Jaylen Brown, who is proficient at shooting the three, can lock down bigger guys.
Yeah.
Great on a switch. If I have to have a switch and Jalen's guarding it, okay. Yeah. Let's go. Let's do it. And then you have Jason Tatum, who's going to be a superstar.
Yeah.
Let's go. Gordon Hayward, I've seen your ceiling. I don't think it gets higher than that.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
But Jalen and I don't think Hayward can play D.
The team doesn't get better than that. Like in terms of going, and they got Sacramento's first round pick next year, and if they can hold on to that in any trades,
let's go.
I mean, you're good. Like you're good. You're golden.
I have to pee, so Kaz, you have to stop texting. So
I'm sorry, man.
I'll be right back.
Man.
Are you okay?
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good. Nothing not important. Not important. Anyway,
you got another one of these white girls pregnant?
No, stop. Yo,
Damn, another fam?
Damn, bro.
Wow.
What's up? Yeah, you gotta stop perpetuating this white girl stereotype.
Why are we getting you all the white girl pussy, man?
I don't know any of these white women, but people come to me like, oh my god, can I go for the white? I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yo, it's
like,
all good, bro. It's all good.
It does more damage than you think, guys. But
no, you're gonna be totally fine.
What, black women are coming up to you? Black women look at you as tainted now?
Anyway, Boston Celtics. Celtics, right?
I say yes.
Black women love to save a nice black man, bro.
That's
Let
what I'm
them
saying.
save
There's
you,
one out
bro.
there that
It's all
wants to
good.
save you.
Also, you're Nigerian, man. You guys are winning right now. You can take whatever you
Your
want.
parents would probably be happier if you married a white girl.
Would they?
Would mom be happier if you married a white girl?
Well, my mom doesn't really trip off of that, to be honest.
Yep,
like she's
exactly.
a rare night. Like if we were in Nigeria, like my mom, like they would look at my mom like she was a hippie. Cause like,
Really?
Yeah, because like they're very like
conservative.
You gotta marry
She's a
Nigerian,
little,
they gotta do that.
yeah.
And like I brought home women of all creeds and colors. It's like, as long as it makes my boy happy, it's good, and yada yada yada. So like she would be treated as like a Nigerian hippie.
I brought home
yeah.
women of all creeds and colors. Is black speak for? I brought home a few white girls.
yeah. Which different creeds are you bringing home?
Maybe a Latina or two snuck in. But that's what that is.
But I mean, so I like Gordon Hayward. I still don't think the Boston thing's realistic, man.
Here's the thing that I don't want it to be like Miami. Where the smart move that year was to go to Chicago because they had Derrick Rose when he was the year before his MVP year. They had Joakim Noah when he was still great. Taj Gibson was coming off the bench. That team was deep. You had LeBron. It's a fucking squad.
Yeah, no. I mean, the thing was that like he didn't make a bad choice going to Miami.
No,
but at the same time,
when you have to gut a team, you're still the best on paper. But against Golden State, that's not going to work. You can't gut a team, have 3 stars, and I don't think for sure beat Golden State.
That's my thing. I don't think LeBron goes anywhere where a team's got to get gutted. I think he has to go somewhere where you got some money, and that's why I think LA is the best place because they got 2 max contract offers right now.
Do you think
just slide them right in? As constructed, and they are a great team. Kyle Kuzma is a great player. He's going to be a great player. I think Lonzo Ball's going to be a great player. I think Brandon Ingram's a very good player. I think Julius Randle's a very good player. I think Josh Hart's going to be very good. Those are nice young pieces that could benefit from a LeBron James, from a Paul George, from guys that we can give the ball to and be like, take us to the promised land. And they were already good this year. They won like 30-something games. Like they weren't world beaters by any chance. But for a team that young, with that many young pieces, they were good.
Okay,
they were very good. You add 2 all-world players.
Okay,
that's a 50+1 team right there, man.
For sure. Now think about this with Boston. Midway through the year, they lost their best player, who is an all-world player.
Yes,
who is as good as Paul George, I think overall. Maybe not.
Give or take.
Not nearly as good defensively, but offensively.
Different strokes for different folks.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
Sure. And they lost another max player who wasn't as good as Paul George, but
and to be fair, we hadn't really got to see how that team looks with him. He went down like the second possession of the season.
But that team made it to the conference finals.
Yeah.
Game 7.
Yeah.
Weaker conference, sure, but Game 7 conference finals. And I think the X factor is the guy Andrew doesn't give credit to, but you do, is Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens, yeah.
Luke Walton, I thought would be a great coach. So far, hasn't impressed me. Maybe he hasn't had the talent. So far, hasn't impressed me. Brad Stevens could have done more with the Lakers' talent, I think, than Luke Walton could have.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? I mean, if we go on player for player, I don't know if I like the Lakers' young pieces more than I like Boston's young pieces.
Jason Tatum, I mean, it's unreal.
Tatum is going to own this league way sooner than any of us imagined.
Any of us thought.
He is. I've said this before. I'm like, he's baby Durant. He's a taller Kobe to me. Like the dude has just moves that you don't learn as a 20-year-old.
He's a killer. He seems like a great kid.
Yeah.
LeBron would love playing with him. He would love playing with LeBron.
Yeah. And he's the prototypical star player in this league where you're 6'9", you can kind of do everything. You can score from anywhere. You got range. And, and Jaylen Brown's no slouch either. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's...
And that team defensively, you want to talk about length and anything else that could bother Golden State and coaching, they have it.
Yeah.
Horford can switch on all 5 positions.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Draymond is a nice matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Tatum can switch on anybody. He's long. Brown is a good defender.
Very true.
Scary Terry, you'd kind of switch on and you could expose him, but that's it.
Yeah, I just think wherever LeBron goes, he needs to go somewhere with smart players or at least a smart coach team and teams that could give him a spell. Give him 10 minutes to sit.
He's done playing 40 minutes a game.
He is not trying to do that shit. He wanted to prove to himself he could play all 82 games and play and dedicate his body to being the healthiest it's ever been. He's done that. I don't think he wants to do that shit again.
No, never.
I mean, the motherfucker ran out of gas, especially when he knows at the end of that road, at the end of that 82 games, he's got that 4-headed monster in Oakland waiting for him.
No chance
He needs
to do that.
all of the energy he can hold up when it comes to the finals, because even as outmanned as they were, LeBron still took that team in Oakland to the limit in that first game. It wasn't for a legendarily boneheaded mistake.
And they still probably lose, but if LeBron wins that game, if Cleveland wins that game, this is a different series.
It's a different series. It's still going on.
We have a game
We
tonight.
still have a game tonight. And it's a whole different series. It's way different. It's a way different task to ask someone to close out on the road than it is to close out at home. It's way different to go into Cleveland tied 1-1 than being down 2-0. You know what I mean? Like, that first game on the road can literally change an entire series. And if you could steal that home court advantage from Golden State, maybe this goes 5 or 6.
It's the most heartbreaking loss I've ever seen in my life.
I felt so bad for him, dog. I felt bad for him, and we gave LeBron shit for taking it out on that poor whiteboard. But I mean, it's kind of understandable.
Which I don't. Well, this is something I don't. This is just a feeling. I think a small part of him quit after that end of regulation.
I mean, wouldn't you though?
No, I don't blame him.
That's
I think
all
he
I'm
should
saying.
have. I don't blame him at all. But I think the whiteboard is a nice way of saying.
I
didn't punch a whiteboard. I theoretically punched a whiteboard in my mind, and I'm just kind of.
Yeah.
I'm done a little bit. I'm not gonna quit like I did last time I left Cleveland, but I'm not doing this again.
Yeah, no, I don't think he physically quit, but I think it's one of those things where you put so much into something. And then it's like, he was deflated. I wouldn't say he was quit.
Right.
I think the air was let out of the balloon. And he was like, oh, fuck. Now the hill was already steep to climb.
Yeah.
And now instead of being 45 degrees, it's fucking 90 degrees.
Yeah. He got all the way to the top and then fell back down. And then
it's like, all right, now go back up again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he physically quit. I think, he does what all humans do, man. Like, when you give your all and you give as much as you can to a cause and you lose through no fault of your own. You know what I'm saying? I think mentally he was just like, what the fuck do I got to do? You know what I mean?
I think it was over.
I still think he gave it all he could physically, but I think mentally he just knew, like, I can't, there's nothing.
Fair enough.
You're asking a lot of me.
Fair enough.
Now
I was waiting for Andrew to get back because I wanted to have fun with one more team in that San Antonio, which I've been talking about since we started this podcast. Dejounte Murray. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Dejounte
Murray.
I don't know how the fuck. It's spelled D-A-D-E-G-O-U or whatever the fuck. Anyway, did you guys see all the recruiting for LeBron as soon as they lost?
Oh, yeah. Philly.
Enes Kanter. Spelled Cleveland, but spelled it C-Leveland. With LeBron in a Knicks jersey.
Yo, small sidebar on Enes Kanter. Master troll.
Yeah.
Master troll.
Yeah.
Love him.
Really good. Really good. Joel Embiid said something like, trust the process. LeBron, you need a new slant. Come to Philly, something like that. And then Dejounte Murray retweeted a picture of LeBron wearing a Spurs jersey. They're apparently tight. He's going to recruit for whatever it's worth.
Everyone's going to recruit. Apparently, and the story just came back. They said Popovich is going to try. Popovich never gets in the recruiting part of the game. But he's like, they have reports saying, like, nah, he's going to go visit LeBron.
LeBron thinks he is the greatest coach of all time. We all think he's one of, if not the greatest. LeBron says this is the greatest coach of all time because he hates Phil.
If there's any coach that can make a difference in the LeBron sweepstakes, it's Popovich.
And I read reports last night that Kawhi is nearly 100% healthy. And another report that says, for whatever this is worth, Danny Green said in an interview, he had a private conversation with Kawhi where Kawhi said he would want to return. Like, I'd like to return. Now, they still have to talk and smooth things out and have that LaMarcus Aldridge conversation.
Why?
The conversation that LaMarcus had with Pop last year.
Gotcha.
They'd have to do that this year with Pop and Kawhi.
Does
salary-wise, they would have to trade LaMarcus Aldridge or find somebody to take Gasol and Patty Mills or someone else.
Does LeBron want to play with LaMarcus Aldridge?
You think Cleveland would take a LaMarcus Aldridge in a pick? Because that team's not. That's probably not. It's not really good, but it might be a playoff team.
Get something.
LaMarcus, Kevin Love, maybe a pick. The number 8 pick overall.
I don't know, man. I think maybe there's. I still do think there's a lack of shooting over there that I think wouldn't really benefit LeBron and a team that starts both Kawhi and LeBron. I think he does answer the Robin. That'll be the closest to Scottie Pippen that LeBron's
And
probably
against
ever played
Golden
with.
State, Kawhi single-handedly damages everything.
He was in there.
He's the disruptor for Golden State.
Yeah. He's a guy that doesn't need the ball in his hands.
Well, he actually scores better without it.
He scores. Yeah. He's great off the ball,
and that's what LeBron needs. But now we have a situation where LeBron is going to be running the point again.
Well, they have a good point guard.
I mean,
Deontay Murray's good.
Deontay Murray. They got Tony Parker.
Can't shoot.
They got Tony Parker's
Tony
past his
can't
prime,
shoot.
but
Tony's a free agent. He might retire.
And there's always that possibility of like people will come play with LeBron James.
And
people
Pop
will
can
come
find
play with
shooters.
Popovich. Yeah. And I think LeBron mentally and physically wants to take a little bit of a break.
And Pop will not let LeBron play 40 minutes again.
Yeah.
He just won't do
That's
it. He'd rather lose.
Very
true. He will protect.
He'll take
an
L
extend.
if it means.
So the question is, does LeBron want to be in San Antonio? Because LeBron is an interesting situation. LeBron knows that wherever he goes, they're going to the finals. Now, we might not believe that, but he truly believes no matter what team he has, he is good enough to take them single-handedly to the finals.
In the West, it's not necessarily the finals. He's good enough to get you to Golden State.
He's good enough to get in the West, he's getting you Western Conference Finals.
Yeah. He's good enough to get you to Golden State,
sure.
however that happens.
However that happens, that's well said, yeah. East is the easier trip, sure. Does he factor in the city? Does he go, I've never played for a major market. Let me play for a major market.
That's
Let me
cash
the fuck in. Let me go to New York. If I get New York.
LA would be
fuck
a better basketball fit.
Yeah, but if I get New York to the finals, bro, let me tell you something. Just the amount of there ain't no money in LA. No money in LA.
Companies are out there, man. Uninterrupted's out there.
No money in LA, bro. That's entertainment money. That's peanuts. Where the billionaires
He's got a crib out there already,
Where the
man.
billionaires at, though? Keep it real. Keep it real. Where's the money?
LeBron a billionaire.
LeBron's already
money. Where's the money?
In Cleveland.
The money.
The money's in New York.
In Golden State.
Okay, there's tech money. There's tech money. There's tech money out there. But if we're talking about finance, the real bread, if you wanna get your if you wanna get your shit tied in, do you know what I mean? If you're talking about this is all about business, and you're not gonna be out there in the tech world, and you just want to get your shit tied into investments, real type of business, be rubbing shoulders with these billionaires that really change the world. If that's what you're going for, as well as making to the finals, whatever it is. It's New York, man.
Listen, I'm just as great as an irrational Knicks fan as you are.
It's not gonna happen.
I love the hire of take that for that or Fizdale.
Yeah.
I love the fact that the New York Knicks have the only organization in the NBA that has a black president, GM, and head coach.
That's how horrible the Knicks are.
We needed that. That's how. Yeah.
That's how horrible the Knicks are. That. They don't even brag about this.
Bro,
every other team,
I would be screaming that shit from the mountaintop.
Son,
I'm like, black empowerment, guys. New York City.
If you scream from the mountaintop, every other team's like, maybe we shouldn't hire all the black guys. Right? That's the risk. Any other network, any other place, a TV network, whatever, they're going to boast about the diversity and the hire. The Knicks are so fucking horrible. That they can't even brag about.
Well, they want to make sure they have a good season first.
Say what? Absolutely, but we've been had a black GM and black president for years.
No.
Mills has been the GM.
Mills was there. They just brought in the other dude, Perry, this year.
Yeah, but Mills has been involved in the organization forever.
Yeah, but
they've had black coaches before.
They just brought in Perry as the president, though.
Fair enough.
And then now they have a black head coach.
Sure,
so it's the first time that all three.
They had a lot of black dudes at high positions. I mean, will you even go back to Isaiah Thomas?
No, I'm not saying that doesn't happen in the NBA a lot. It does, but I'm saying it's the first time.
I'm saying when you're this bad, you don't hear about it.
Let me say this about LeBron. Just the other two free agency decisions have been basketball decisions, and I think this one is going to be a basketball decision.
Yeah.
Cleveland, sure, he wanted to win one for the land. Also, Kyrie was there, and they had enough trade pieces to get Kevin Love, and he knew that.
Fair enough. All right, let's wrap it up. Kaz got to fly. I got to get some sleep. You got to get some sleep. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode.
Next week, we promise we will talk World Cup in some way.
Yes,
I don't know anything, but we'll find something to talk about.
Nigeria's out here a lot, so we got to have a lot of
Nigeria
hot takes. The unofficial Flagrant 2 team of the World
Schulz
Cup.
is the horse that won the Triple Crown.
Whatever his name. What's his name?
Justified.
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 about Justify, how dumb that's even a sport.
He's literally getting $75 million for breeding rights.
Can't wait till he turns
His
into
sperm
glue.
is worth $75 million.
He's gonna make some amazing glue one day.
Shout out to Elmer.
Shout out to Elmer, bro. Do we plug anything?
Yo, please plug away, man. Plug away.
Gosh,
I got some things I need to plug.
Do I have anything to plug?
I'll plug one.
Watch
while you guys
SmackDown
think
Live
of it.
every Tuesday.
Yo, you about to see Kaz in that shit. Day one, we saw him in there.
Yeah, man. Watch Monday Night Raw on SmackDown Live.
Suit it up.
every week, I
Yo,
guess.
please keep on listening to 551, sharing it. I'm
Yes.
just streaming it. Listen, send me screenshots when you see that shit on Pandora pop up or Sirius XM radio pop up, man. It's so cool to see that. I'm gonna be in DC this weekend. It's gonna be the Thursday through Sunday, and then Denver the weekend after that. Pull the fuck up, yo. Let's do Denver big, man. I'm excited. Also, check out the vlogs I've been doing. I'm gonna do a vlog for KC. Had some wild shit go down in KC. I tried all the different barbecues in KC.
Nice.
was your
KC's
favorite?
best barbecue, I shit you not, and you got to see it to believe it, is out of a fucking gas station.
I had that. It was good.
You've had
What
Joe's
I don't remember what it's called, but I had it. Yeah, it's the first place I went.
the best sandwich I've ever had in my life.
Mm.
This is barbecue, cold cuts, chicken parmesan, everything included. The best sandwich I've ever had in my life
What
was
was it?
there. It's called the Mr. Z or
Yeah.
the Z sandwiches.
Right.
That's their thing they're known for. Go check and you can check the blog to see what's in it. But I'm gonna drop that this week. YouTube.com/The Andrew Schulz. Obviously 501, and then Denver's going to be the weekend after that. Check that. I'm going to do a vlog for DC, a vlog for Denver. I'm going to keep vlogging these cities that I go in, man. We had some fun time. I had a cool Uber driver that was trying to convince me that I should marry a cousin of mine. So that was a fun story. Dead ass trying to convince me that shit.
Where was this?
He's originally from Iraq and then moved to Kansas. And I was like, did you move here because you felt cousin fucking was permitted? Dude, he was a wild dude, but it was funny. And so check that shit out. We have some fun. And yeah, I think that, and there's more tour dates to come, man. Just please, we added a bunch of new shows on the tour, so go to theandrewschultz.com to check those out. The European dates are up. Go get those tickets. And yeah, you go for it.
June 29th, we're going to be at my boys, the ABDCs, and myself. We're going to be at Valley Forge Casino in King of Prussia, which is outside of Philly. If you live in Philly, come through and support. We're going to be doing a one-night show. June 29th, come through. The tickets will be on my Instagram page, and then I'll just keep tweeting out.
Really nice performance space.
Really. I'm excited about it.
Beautiful,
I'm
big.
excited about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun, man. Come through if you're in the area. Philly, I know you guys, you asshole lovers out there, come through and support.
Yo, pull up, man. Do it. And then you also got the Nashville joint, right?
Yeah, we got shows coming. I'm going to give you those exact dates. Those are going to be end of September, I believe. We got Nashville, hopefully Atlanta, also Huntsville, and maybe one other city. We're going to be working on that end of September. I'm going to hit you with the exact date soon. But for right now, June 29th. Let's focus on that one.
Word. Get everybody out there. Kaz?
I ain't got nothing to plug, but Hennypalooza, July 14th,
Do say Palooza.
Oh my God, fuck those guys. Do say Palooza,
son.
July 14th.
Damn, son. July 14th. Where, dog?
I'm
Where?
gonna blame that on the person fucking texting me and blow my fucking day. But
Yo, who's
Do
texting
say-
you,
no,
man? What's
no,
that
not
about?
important. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Oh, pussy
July
tonight for
14th.
Kaz in Little Rock.
All right, yeah.
Annie
Anyway,
Mae just
guys.
texted him. She can't make it.
I'm good.
Sue
I'm
Ellen
good.
just said she
Yeah,
can't
what
come through.
did she say?
I don't know these white people you talk about, all
Bro,
right?
it's all
This is
good,
not,
bro.
This is lies. This is
I remember
lies,
when we
bro.
were drunk and you were telling me that the greatest delicacy
Oh,
in the
God.
world is white
Is it
pussy.
'cause just lie?
Yeah, you said,
Just
you said
lie.
white Christian pussy
Oh
is the
my
greatest
God.
delicacy on the planet. I was quite surprised, to be honest with you.
All right.
It was
I'm out.
cool.
Do say Palooza, July
Do say
14th. I'm going to be
Palooza.
there. I'm pulling up this time for sure.
Pull up,
Tried to get in
man.
last time.
Wait,
couldn't.
where
It
is
was too
it?
late.
Chicago, Illinois.
Oh,
You're going to
never mind.
Chicago.
Never mind.
Oh,
I thought you were
no,
going to New York
no,
again.
That's far. That's a far one.
We'll be back.
All right, yo, but thank y'all for listening, man. Every single week, spread the word. You know how it is. Keep it motherfucking tight. This
Yes,
is
sir.
Flagrant 2. Peace.
Favorite players, favorite podcast.
Yeah.
Later.
God bless.